equipment in, and on the old one, he'd just run like a rag real quick, and it would suck it in just enough. The new one, forget about it, man. Sucked his hand in like a pancake. So he's in the hospital. About 3 or 4 days goes by. The doctor's going, listen, we've got to make a decision soon. The whole family's in there praying. God's going to come in, and they're going to fix his hand. They're telling the doctor not to do anything. So finally, the doctor comes in and says, look, the gangrene is going to spread into the bloodstream. He's going to fucking die. We're going to have to do something. So then they basically amputated half of his fingers and then sewed his toes onto his fucking hand. And he's got all these toes.
This sounds like a Seinfeld
really.
with a tractor.
Oh. Dude, you should see his hand. It's so fucking
Does it smell like athlete's foot sometimes?
There's something wrong with you guys.
No, that's a Seinfeld bit.
Hey, tell him about your brother's toes.
Why, you probably already told them and made fun of them. Oh, on video too, right? I mean, we had to do that live, right? Couldn't even have done that on the down low.
How long was I video? Damn you!
How long does he have?
Yeah, tell them about your slow uncle hiring hookers.
Well, that's true. That happens.
Your dad's brother?
Yeah, he's literally well, he's dead now, but he was mentally challenged by far. He was in a group home for well, that's what's politically correct, and I'm all about PC.
Oh, of course.
My middle name is PC. No, but so he lived with my grandmother up till he was like 50. He died around 60-something. But when she got so bad, he went into a group home. He would take his Social Security check. These people are supposed to be watching. And all of a sudden, they started seeing some woman would come visit him once a month. And it turned out to be a hooker. But I was like, my God, the guy's never had a woman in his whole life. I just had no issue with it. I could care less.
To make it a
Massage.
smaller
Don't worry about it.
I think the other is better.
It's fine.
And I hope that's not
It's
too
not
much.
a
Hi,
big
guys!
deal. Not a big deal.
Hello! How you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm good.
Good.
If we could just work a little harder.
Lots less work more.
That really grinds my gear. You guys know where that's from? I don't remember. It's from something. It might have been from Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Oh.
The new one or the old one?
No, the original.
I don't think the program is on here anymore. What is it called? Whatever we use for our system is not on here.
What, your
Our call screener, what is this whole thing called?
399
It's just not on here.
I have it.
The program. What is it called?
It's called
You don't have any
Next Gen.
Holy shit, where did all the headphones go to?
Got it. Okay, there it is.
Then you got to launch call screener.
Yeah.
He had a fill in today. She probably.
Are you saying the call screen?
Yeah, but it's not.
Down here, go to the F.
Well, no, I know. It's right here. It's just not coming up.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
The Chrysler Pacific.
What's that?
Up your band game.
Sorry.
They always fuck around with these.
$1,000.
Okay, it was just.
Perfect. Okay, good. I had a feeling that's what you were talking about.
Radio info. Standard data and message rate supply in this nationwide contest. That's cash to 200-200.
So,
This is the Troubleshooter.
what happened to the A-team today?
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino here, your troubleshooter. I'm a consumer advocate fighting for you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by Icon Eye Care.com. Icon Eye Care. I'm a consumer advocate. I do help, information, referrals. We talk about the things that make you tick, the things that tick you off. And then I make recommendations for businesses. Plus, we come down on the bad guys. Hey, if somebody's ripping people off, we're going to let you know. We love solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. We love making referrals. It was the first list ever of its kind anywhere, really, in the universe. Shame on me for not taking advantage of that way back when. and let all these other guys sneak in. And we spend much of our time solving problems for people who use other lists. We'll do a lot of good in a year, almost always over $10 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. No matter where you're listening from, welcome. It's really a simple show. You call, we help. And I don't want to even define it. We help with personal things, career things, buying and selling, transactions. We set aside Friday and we call it Car Day. It doesn't mean we only talk about cars, but we emphasize cars today. If things come in during the week at 303 Martino, people call 24/7 and it has to do with cars, we save it. And as I said, this hour brought to you by Icon. Icon does eye care, and primarily they do LASIK because they're the lowest cost LASIK. Let me tell you the truth in the eye business. You hear people say, don't trust those cheap, $4.99 or whatever pricing. Like Icon has the very low cost eyes, very low cost LASIK, good LASIK, and wonderful results. But here's the deal. You'll hear other people advertise, and they're going to so-called give you the dish on it, if you know what I mean. And they say things like, we are not phony. We don't give you that phony low price and then raise the price. Their theory is, we're going to do one price, and it's going to be a real price. And here's what they mean. They mean that they will give you the highest price you can possibly pay, and there's no reason to raise the price because when you walk in there, you're paying a good price to begin with. Now, there's nothing wrong with the service they give, but what they're saying is, if you hear a low cost, beware. And that's not true. This is how it was explained to me from the founder of Icon years ago. Most all LASIK can be done pretty cheap, like under $500. And I don't really even know what the price is right now, but it's cheap, okay? But every once in a while, you have a complicated prescription, and it needs to be a little more, or they have something else wrong with their eyes. These other doctors just charge the maximum right off the bat. And then the guys who don't need a lot of work, they don't get a great value. The guys who need a lot of work, they do get a great value. So, but what Icon does is gives you a very low price on everything unless there are complications, and then they explain exactly what's going on. But no matter what, they're always a better value, always. That's just the way they do it. And then they have, in addition to LASIK, they have the clear lens exchange, which is when you have cataracts, you get new clear lenses. But you can also do that without needing cataracts, just to get perfect eyesight, because now the new lenses do focus. So to find out all about it, just go just go to iconeyecare.com, okay? iconeyecare.com. I want to make it clear, when we do health-related things like stem cells and Icon and Revitalize Health for the HormoneBros.com and all those, we truly, truly have checked them out, and we have monitored them, and I've researched the topic. Now, I will admit in the beginning, there was much confusion about stem cells. Me, along with everyone else, was calling everything stem cell therapy because the stuff came from stem cells. Then I later learned it doesn't matter if it comes from stem cells if it's not living stem cells. Let's go to the phones, all right? Let's start with Ray, and Ray has a problem with AAA Auto. Go ahead, Ray.
Hey, Tom.
What's happening?
Thanks for taking the call. So the auto dealer is actually AA Auto, not AAA. It's just AA Auto.
And what's the problem?
So we had two different issues. So bought a car for my girlfriend 2 months ago, and when we bought it, there was a service light on. And when we asked them about it, they said they had just done an oil change on the car, and they just hadn't reset the service light on it. And, since that's happened to me on my own vehicle.
Kevin Calkin shared an auto tech today with us. I want to ask you something. Do those lights have to be reset then?
Some do, some, yeah. I mean, if it
Somewhat.
if it's on, it has to be reset. That's a very simple process.
So some people could theoretically reset it without doing the service.
Sure.
Okay, and then others could do the service, forget to reset it.
Correct.
So, okay. So keep going.
So anyway, while we were waiting for to get the car registered, she decided to go through the owner's manual, and then that same service light gave the impression, or could be saying there was a possible O2 sensor problem. So she took it over to O'Reilly, and they put the computer on it, and they said there were 6 codes that came up. They're basically repeating, but they all went back to an O2 sensor issue. So then we called AA, and they told us, why did we wait 2 months? And we explained that it was because your sales rep and your manager, so it was Cam and I think Haman,
said what?
Were the 2 people. And they just said, why are you calling us 2 months? That service light wasn't on. You're lying, basically.
Well, Ray, listen. When you first took it to AA, what was the original problem?
Well, AA was the dealer. So we bought the car from the dealer.
Oh, okay. And then you called and said, we have a light.
Well, we said the light that you gave us the impression was just an oil change light that hadn't been reset. Turns out it's an O2 sensor.
I understand that, but you bought it that way. You bought it with a light on or not?
Would they admit that right now, that they said that when that light was on?
No.
I guess it doesn't matter. You bought a car as is. My only question is this. How did you get the emissions on it?
When we went to
Ray, listen. When you buy a car, you have 3 days to get the emissions. Did you get it?
I understand. I understand, and that's why I realized.
No, I'm asking a question. Did you get the emissions?
We did not.
Why?
Because on our documents it showed that they had paid $25 for the emissions. They had an emissions test done, or there was a $25.
I thought they had to do. I thought every time you sell a car, you got to do a new one.
They probably gave him a voucher.
Okay, so did you take the voucher and go get a new test?
Did not, and we did not have a voucher.
That's odd. That's an odd one.
Well, I know it is, and we didn't have it in our paperwork. I mean, there's always a chance.
Well, hold on, but the reason I keep harping on this, that is strong enough to rescind a deal if you didn't get a voucher. Now, hold on, though. So then how long after you bought it did the light come on?
It was on when we bought the car.
Then it couldn't have passed emissions then, if it was on when you bought it, had you taken it somewhere. But then why did you not do anything about it then? Why did you wait?
Well, again, obviously it's our mistake, but we were given the impression that it was because there was an oil change.
I understand that. So you thought when you get the oil change done, it was going to go away.
Well, no, they did the oil change. So we thought in 3 months when we go to do the next oil change.
Right, that's what I mean. So, they would take care of it then.
Correct.
All right, so what's the big deal now that you find out it's an oxygen sensor?
Well, it's just a $400 repair.
Okay.
So we thought we could see if there was a way they would come back.
Okay, I understand your reasoning completely. You bought it. It was probably out when you bought it. But here's the bigger issue. With the O2 sensor out when you bought it, with a light on when you bought it, I'm sure somewhere in your paperwork we can get you out of this if they didn't follow the procedure. It sounds to me like they okey-doked you here. I don't think you got a valid emissions. They're not allowed to sell it with the emissions on it isn't there an exception when it's a very recent one or not? Or does it always have to be redone upon sale?
I think they have a period of time, like if the emissions test was done within 10 days. I'm looking, though.
Hold on. Suzanne, can we please, I almost sound, you know how I remember little tiny details from years ago, and I remember facts and figures and laws and this. Yes. Why when it comes to this, I swear to God I have a mental block. I can't seem to get it straight. There are some conditions you need a new test. There are some conditions you don't. But I thought with a licensed dealer, whenever you sell it, you need a new test. But Ray, that's good. Let's just cut right to the chase. That is your only hope, okay? That they violated some kind of emissions thing. That's the only hope. Otherwise, it's as is. And all of this crap I hear, not from you unnecessarily, but everyone who says, well, I told them, and they said this, and they said that, and they said this. None of that ever works. Ever. Oh, well, they said this. Why did you wait 2 months? Well, they said this. We'll work on it, okay? Just hang on. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Go to your computer and put this in the website. GoCamSolar.com, and then go to that website. You'll get a form. Fill it out. You get a free evaluation of your lot and the solar radiation it'll produce for 20 years. GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter. And now, if you decide to buy, there's no money out of pocket. You get tax credits, you get low-interest financing, and you own the system, and you're paying less than you would for electricity. Lock in your electricity and get a solar system if you're going to stay in your home, of course. If not, you own the system. You can always sell it with the home anyway. GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter.
I don't know. I am so baffled by this. There's something not making sense to me.
What year was the car?
The highway across the metro.
That depends on
I don't know what
Had a
makes
check
sense.
engine light. He needed
That call was pretty straightforward. He bought it, it had a light on it. They told him it was one thing, it was something else.
Right. Isn't the first, don't you get 5 years and stuff for new cars and stuff?
Yeah.
Right? No. Is it 5?
Well, for new cars. I mean, like say, like a 2017, you don't.
Marty, how long do you have?
I'm looking, this is driving me insane, man. I'm with you. I have no idea why this info doesn't stick. Maybe they change it so often.
Not with me, Mark. I just can't get it. I usually am good at information there.
Your brain's like a steel trap.
Sometimes. Except when it comes to the damn emissions. And there's one other thing that bothers me sometimes. There's one other thing there that I can't seem to get.
Okay, this says, let me make sure this is Colorado. Yeah, this is actually Air Care Colorado. No emissions test required. Vehicles are 7 model years old. Vehicles in their off-year cycle. All electric. Collector's plates. And horseless carriages. Well, I would have guessed that. Can you imagine a horse and carriage pulling up onto those rollers? It would be a fucking nightmare.
I keep finding that they can give them a valid emission, but it doesn't really define how fresh the emission has to be.
No, I thought they had to have one within a few days or so.
That's what I mean. I can't find that exact terminology, but they can provide an emission. If they ran an emission and gave them the emission, that's all they have to do.
God, it's so crazy. We don't know this. It really is. You know who might know would be Janicelli. I'm going to ask him real quick. No, he won't know. He's in Colorado Springs.
Company that I personally endorse. Book your free appointment today online at getchampion.com. They design, build, install, and guarantee their home improvement products. So all you have to do is enjoy them. 30% off new Comfort 365 windows and 25% off new.
Because there's got to be a limit, 30, 60 days or something on that.
That's getchampion.com. 365 windows as long as the original purchaser owns the home. Subject to qualifying credit approval. Minimum purchase required. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Can be combined with other advertisers. Go to the website for details.
Today is the day you break the stranglehold of addiction. You and your family can't lose another precious day to this horrible disease. If you or someone you know is abusing alcohol, prescription drugs, hard illegal drugs, or if it's a mental health issue, anxiety, depression, or trauma related to substance abuse, please know you're not alone. There's help. Call the Raleigh House today. They've established a special number to address your concerns.
See, this is weird. It says inspection required when a vehicle changes ownership. Change of ownership requires a new passing emission certificate supplied by the seller. So that means the dealer could get the emissions.
No, they absolutely could. Yeah.
No, wait. What did it just say, Mark?
It says, inspection required when a vehicle changes ownership.
Yes.
Change of ownership requires a new passing emission certificate supplied by the seller at the time of sale.
That's a new one. He didn't have a new one, Mark.
But they said there was 25 hours on his paperwork, so they may have run the emissions prior. Just did it, but we're trying to find out how long that's valid for.
Yeah, like if the dealer gets the emissions test in January, can they sell it in March and the guy doesn't have to worry about it?
Can we get somebody on the fucking talk?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Oh, I got Jim Janicelli on for the call.
I don't know if he'll know about emissions.
Now listen,
He does.
He has
to know, but he has to know about every fucking detail, and I hope he doesn't, because I remember.
They sell a lot of fucking used cars.
Do you want me to get my state guy on too, so you can just kind of go between them?
Yeah,
Okay.
Because he sells a lot of used vehicles.
And Jim has good, because the Springs is different. He knows about Denver too, but he can also clarify how the.
Well, yeah, because he used to
Let me
run
get my
them.
mic
He
guy.
used to run them up there fast. Smart.
rated #1 by employers in the U.S. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Based on website rating, hiring sites for reviews.
Michael Brown, afternoons 4 to 7. The San Francisco School Board president drops the Pledge of Allegiance and replaces it.
Okay, Eric said this happens all the time. The memo should make this go away. Okay. We'll just end up, if we end up paying it, we'll just make sure to bill Martino on it.
I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK. Centeno Schultz had a seminar last night, really successful. Whenever we can educate people about stem cells, as I mentioned, we love doing it. Centeno Schultz, Dr. Chris Centeno, was the first one to do stem cell therapy in a clinical setting. Just very quickly, I want to tell you, they have other seminars coming up. If you want to really learn the truth, maybe not just for yourself, but you have a loved one, painful joints, arthritis, elbow, hips, knees, they'll tell you what they can and cannot do. Now, as I said, they had one last night. They have another one coming up on the 17th in Lone Tree. Or you can just go for an evaluation. 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201. Centeno Schultz. Let's talk about emissions, because we always get these confusing things. I know this. Emissions have to be done on certain cars. But what about changing of ownership? Jim, do you know the general rule when you change ownership, whether it's a dealer or an individual, when ownership changes, Jim, what happens to emissions?
Tom, I know the rule when it's from a dealer, so
okay, let's talk about that. What is the rule?
From a dealer, they need a new emissions. A customer needs a new emissions.
What if you guys had one done and 2 weeks ago?
That's okay. If the car hasn't been sold in 2 weeks and we have a current emission test, we give it to the consumer. They take that with them to the Department of Motor Vehicles.
For how long? How current does the sticker have to be?
I believe the coupon is good for 90 days. So if I've done an emission test today and I sell the car in 89 days, that same test is still valid.
Okay.
Now in Denver, we're talking about Denver rules. Colorado Springs is a little different, which is why I'm not as up to date on it as I used to be because I'm in the Springs. But that's the way they do it in Denver.
So when a dealer or a seller gets an emissions done, it's good for 90 days as far as changing ownership. But,
correct.
And so that's probably what happened. It sounds to me, Jim, that this dealer, it sounds like the dealer screwed this guy, because how does a dealer jury rig, or how would a dealer cheat? If you guys wanted to sell a car and you know it won't pass, you don't want to give the consumer a voucher. And I'm not saying you would do this, but if a dealer wanted to do that, can they simply pass it? I mean, how do they falsify?
No, they can't pass it. Listen, the only way a dealer would take that risk would be to give the consumer a voucher. He wouldn't give him the emission test. The emissions.
But he gave him the emissions test, and I have a feeling.
Then it passed.
I have a feeling. No, it didn't pass, did it? It passed with the dealer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It did pass. They're not going to phony baloney that.
Well, how do you know? How do you know?
Because they don't do the emissions test. Air Care Colorado does. They'd have to be in cahoots with the state.
So this dealer, it just sounds weird. Okay, Ray.
Tom,
yeah, go ahead.
So what happens is when we went to DMV, they said if it's a 2015 or newer, the emissions tests are now good for 5 years.
Right. So what year is this?
It's a 2015, so it's 2018, so it's only been 3 years old.
Then it doesn't matter. Then this is totally... Is that right, Jim? If your car is a certain year, you don't need a current sticker.
That I can't answer, again, because that's a Denver rule. It's not in Colorado Springs, they don't need emissions unless it's a diesel.
All right, so Ray...
And we're actually in Broomfield.
Ray, you're telling me your car's 2015, so it's good for 5 years.
Correct.
Okay, so then the whole thing's out the window anyway. But, Jim, at the time of sale, there was a light on, and it turned out to be an O2 sensor. They said, oh, it's just an oil change. See, the problem with those check engine lights, they can be anything from an O2 sensor to a major deal to a minor deal, right, Kevin?
Yeah, they could be a number of things. And terminology is different from car to car, too. Where one will be a check engine, one will say service engine soon.
Okay.
And it's all the same
But
light.
anyway, with a light on at the time of sale, and he knew it, God, he was taking a risk. Jim Janicelli, Colorado Springs Dodge, thank you so much. Now, Ray.
Yes.
Here's the deal. You knew it was on. You didn't get anything in writing, a WEO statement, nothing. You should have had it addressed. I don't think I can help you. I really don't. All they have to say is, hey, you know, it was like that when he bought. Well, no, I don't think they would say that because it has to be able to pass at the time. Is there any proof?
They said what they were going to say. They were going to say, hey, it happened after we bought it. I mean,
Is there any proof? Is there any proof it was like that the day you picked it up?
No.
Damn.
No, obviously that was my fault.
How many miles were on it?
25,000.
Geez, that sounds outrageous for O2 sensors, though, Kevin. Is that even feasible?
It is, and depending on the manufacturer, it may be covered by the emission warranties.
Oh, have you checked that, Ray, the emission warranty?
We took it to Nissan, the dealer, and they said it was 2 months out of their bumper-to-bumper warranty. I mean, luckily it's only a $400 repair, so it's not like we can't get it taken care of.
How do you like the car otherwise?
I think she likes it. I mean, I bought it for her, so she seems to be happy with it. So,
all right,
you know,
well, I'm sorry about it, man. I really am. This is a lesson for everyone, okay? And here's the lesson. What is it? If you have an issue, address it at the time. Get everything in writing. That's not a fail-safe, but it's better than not having it. Betty, what's happening?
You don't do this.
Betty?
Hello?
Hi, Betty.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Happy Friday. What's going on with your deal?
Okay, so my landlord is trying to sell the house that we are living in now, and we have a 2-year lease with her. Can she do that to
Sometimes. It depends. It depends. Now, listen, I'm not going to interpret your lease because that's a legal conclusion, but I will tell you in general, many landlords protect themselves by having an assignment clause that basically says if they sell it, or if they, transfer it, then the lease goes with it and you have to approve it. But sometimes it also says that your lease may terminate upon sale of the building. What does it say in this particular case, Deputy Dan? What is it saying?
It says that anytime during the lease they can put a for sale sign out there and a lockbox, and then they have to allow it to be shown.
Now, is this the whole building or her unit?
Her unit.
Okay, so you're...
Or I think it's a house.
Are you renting a home?
Yes, it's a house.
Okay, you're renting a home, and they're trying to sell it. So are they saying they will not honor the lease?
Basically not. We haven't got that far yet, so we don't know what to do.
But according to that lease, they can do it. I mean, they can put it up for sale. I don't know. I didn't read it close enough to see what it says about transferability.
Right. I didn't see anything about transferring of the lease or anything like that in there.
But at this point, you're wise to address it. When is your lease up normally?
May 31st, 2019.
Okay, May. So next spring.
Yes.
Okay. And did you want to re-up if you could?
Well, we wanted to stay there until the end.
Okay. Now.
Because I've been trying to buy, but I'm just not in a good place to buy yet until February.
Okay. What does the landlord say when you simply ask?
That she's just ready to start doing pictures and...
All right. Well, you can't prevent her. You can't prevent her. So did you ask, however, hey, landlord, what happens if you sell it? Did you ask?
Yes, I did, actually. And she said that if a regular buyer, like a homeowner, buys it, then we can probably stay until April. But if an investor buys it, then we can stay until June. But she just doesn't know where she's at, and I don't know what to say to her anymore.
Well, have you looked in the lease specifically for...
Yeah, I'm finding it. Hold up.
Okay, so hold on a second. We'll come right back to you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Anita, welcome to the show. I'm Tom. What's happening with your Chrysler?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing good. What about your Chrysler?
I have 119,000 miles.
Okay, but what year is it?
2011.
Okay, so what's going on with it?
Well, it's got a 5.7 Hemi. Started having trouble with it, missing. So I took it.
How long have you owned it?
Since 2011.
Oh, so you had it since new?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It's brand new.
Okay, so it's missing. Have you had it regularly maintained?
Yes.
Well, what does your trusted mechanic say?
Well, my trusted mechanic is a master mechanic, and he did all the testing on it and found that number 3 camshaft lobe is rounded off and showing some
yeah, you have to have the cam turned, did he say? Or changed?
Well, he said
replaced?
that,
what is it? Replaced there, Kevin Calkin?
Yeah, replaced, yes.
Right. And he went to one of the local dealers, and they told him that this was a known manufacturer's defect.
Is there a recall or service bulletin?
Not yet.
And there was a rash of 5.7 Hemi engine problems.
So the point, you
3.
think, are you trying to get coverage? Is that what you want to do?
Well, I'd like to get some help from Chrysler.
How much is it?
The
repair.
For the engine?
Oh, wait, you don't have to have the whole engine done.
No, but it's
a major part.
Yes.
So in other words, by the time you tear that open to do a cam, Kevin, you're seeming.
Yeah, you end up probably putting a head on it because the cam journals and everything in the head.
Why not just do a new head?
You do the whole head and that, but I mean, you still have
What's that going to cost?
A couple grand. You know, parts.
How much
labor.
are you getting for bids, Anita?
I'm getting $5,000 to buy an engine and have it rebuilt, or $10,000 to put a new engine in it.
Wait, 10,000?
Yep.
No.
Well,
that's a little on the high side, but they're up there. Those motors are not cheap.
But 5,000 to have it rebuilt, that doesn't. You can get a head, a remanufactured head.
But this has the cam lobe that is
in the head, right? It's in the head.
Premature.
I understand that, but the head can be replaced. The bottom end doesn't have to be replaced, although now you're looking at 119,000 miles if you're going to go through all this trouble. I see what you're saying. Hold on a second. Let's address this. I do have some specific thoughts about it. I don't think you're going to get him to do anything, but I do know how you should go about it if you are going to try to get it done. Fix It 24/7. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. They have had a great story from consumers. They are growing like crazy. Why? Because they do such great service, like at the $39 service call to find any problem there is. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drains. No matter how long it takes. Then if you have the work done, you don't even pay the $39. They credit it toward the repair. If you don't have the repair done, they will simply charge you $39. 720-526-3939. That's fixmyhome.com, a company that believes in superb value and quality, both for consumers and for employees. In fact, if you want to join this team, they're hiring in all facets, even office support and everything else, tradesmen. If you're interested in a career with benefits, call them. 720-526-3939.
Well, what do you think of this sentence? Ready? Go. To the greatest extent permitted by law, upon transferring all of the landlord's ownership interest in the real estate of which the premises are a part, landlord shall be released from all liability under this lease.
That's it.
Done. And for more money, for example,
so that's it.
Oh, sold right there. $53,000 over the asking price and $18,000.
That's an assignment.
Assignment and sublease.
The real estate
It's kind of sneaky in there because really it talks about subleasing. Then you got to follow it down and it shows that. They snuck it in. Most leases don't have that. Most leases don't.
Would have a actual paragraph on that.
Well, it does. That's a paragraph. It's all right. To me, that looks right. Just people don't look at that. Did you ever look at your fucking lease when you were in apartments? I never did. I looked at the term.
Sure.
I never looked at
it. 1 year, 2 year, and how much? And
I sure didn't read 17 pages. I mean, I was just
17 pages of real estate.
This one.
Kitchens, baths,
or close to.
Or even windows and
doors.
You betcha, Todd.
So is there a management company then with that, or?
That's right.
No, she is. It's a single person that's just.
She's been through it a few times and have a lease like that. The last house I rented years ago was one page. It has the landlord's name and address and how much the rent was.
So this basically says you can't. The tenant can't get out, but the landlord can.
Coloradans 62
At
and
least
older,
if they
are
sell.
you not feeling as financially
Well,
secure as you'd like to? Is cash flow tight?
upon
Are you
transferring
retiring
all
or
of the
experiencing a
landlord's
life
ownership
change? And do
interest
you
in
own your own
real
home?
estate,
Then consider
of
a
which
reverse
the
mortgage
premises
financing.
are a part.
Reverse mortgages
That's
are
pretty
loans that pay you
straightforward,
monthly
yeah.
by using the equity in your home. They also protect your spouse
It
from
stuck out to
losing your
me.
home if you pass away, and FHA ensures that you never owe more than your house
But
is worth. Hey, it's Ross.
here's the second question. Is that allowable by law? I would assume it is. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. But I can put in there, I can come in anytime and murder you. It doesn't make, even if they sign it, it doesn't make it true.
Well, contract, at least.
In North Korea, it's fine. Man, these pictures of this storm, holy moly.
They got hammered, didn't they?
They got, I mean, there is, place is just destroyed. Look at this. Look, the entire homes are missing.
It looks like Hiroshima after the bomb.
Oh, is this,
Yeah, that looks like a tornado.
Look how they're just, I mean, entire, some of these were $500,000 to $2 million homes. They're literally gone. It's like, where are they?
Someone trying to ride it out.
What was it, 150, 160
See
miles
this
an hour?
house, like right here?
Did it move?
It's, yeah, the foundation is somewhere else.
So they just put it back on there.
It's a good house.
I don't think it works that way. Hey, come on over, let's move my house back.
Everybody grab a side.
Let's get 4 trucks. Oh, what did he say? What's his help sign?
Food, water.
So don't put it off and don't repair that old heating and
Taking a stroll.
Replace it with
Look at that. I mean, these were all
I
homes.
understand people don't want to get out of there, but that's just not smart to hang out in these places. You know?
Especially down there, the houses, I don't think are built that way either.
Yeah, but how good a house can you have? 160
Well,
miles an hour.
look at this, for example.
Yeah.
That one's still standing.
Yeah, and that's on.
Look at the one next to it. I don't even know what happened to it.
They probably didn't board it up. They must have boarded up that
You
one.
see, my folks' house is hurricane proof.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Well-
concrete, and then
Oh, okay.
it's bolted to the the straps that run through the concrete and the whole.
There was a lady being interviewed this morning. They were in a concrete 4-story apartment or a condo, I don't know. She said when it started hitting, the whole building was swaying. They were on the 4th floor, and it sounded like a freight train. And she thought that was it. She thought that was it. That building was going to top. And it didn't.
I don't think I want to be on the 4th floor.
I know, you're
You
like,
got to move up. The waters are getting higher.
Yeah, yeah. So where do your folks live? Where they
On
got
the west coast or east coast.
So Atlantic side.
Atlantic side, yeah. So they just get a lot of rain.
amazing.
My grandfather was in Clearwater for years and years, and you
I
know,
live in Clearwater.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah, it's a nice area. But you know, they drank the hurricane. That's where it came from. People partying when the hurricane comes.
What do you mean?
There's a drink called a hurricane.
In New Orleans and stuff, I've seen
Yeah,
that.
well, my grandfather just joked about it.
When
'cause
I was in Florida, I covered the hurricanes there, and I actually went through one, and they had what was called a hurricane party. Hotels would have you sign in, and you would go, and they would cater, and they would have a party.
Yeah.
It was really amazing.
He said if the water
Did
got a
you know
little
that, Mark?
deep, they
They
went
What's
up to the
had
second floor.
hurricane parties at hotels.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I wouldn't go.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. So listen, Nick Yutzi is here, and he's with Flexident of Colorado.com. And Flexident, he's fixed all of our cars when it comes to dings or hail. What's the biggest hail dent or dent of any kind without paint damage that you've actually successfully fixed? Not that you're recommending it, but something that you took a stab at, that you actually did. How big would it be? Like, would a sheet of paper cover it like a regular sheet of paper, or was it bigger or smaller?
Well, it kind of depends. I mean, I actually
Just
took out
pick one that
I
comes to
actually
mind.
took out a dent that somebody jumped up on the roof and landed on with their butt on top of the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, it
and
caved
were you
in.
able to get the memory back?
Yeah, I was able to take it out because it wasn't too deep and it was huge.
Oh man,
Encased
that
the whole roof.
You talk about a lid. Isn't that what they call them, lids on the top? How much would that have cost to splice in?
To replace the roof on it, it would have been a couple thousand, I'm sure.
Oh God, easily.
Yep.
And so you got access to the headliner?
Yep. Dropped the headliner and just worked out all the braces. Well, that middle brace was actually bent, so we had to work it out, start from the outside, and then the thing just pops up
It's
on
pretty
the
cool.
brace and put the brace back in.
It's pretty cool. Anita's got a problem here. We also have the landlord issue. We didn't forget about Betty. But Anita's issue, 119,000 miles on a 2011 5.7 Hemi. The number 3 lobe on the cam is, well, basically it needs to be machined, but you don't do that. You take out and you replace. Once you got 119,000 miles, you're going to take that whole damn thing apart. So the question is, if Chrysler was responsible 100%, you still would not get the engine. You would get a camshaft. What I'm saying is, truly, they would not have to do anything but the camshaft. So you would end up doing the betterment part of it, doing the rest of it. So what would the cam in and of itself be as far as a cost, Kevin?
Yeah, and I was confusing motors. Replacing the head wouldn't do anything to fix her problem.
It wouldn't.
No, it's an internal cam.
It's not a cam in the head.
No, sir, no.
That would have been an overhead cam?
Yes, exactly.
And this is not an overhead cam?
No, it's not.
Oh.
So, yeah, you would have to pull the motor practically, and you'd probably be $2,500 to $3,000 to replace a cam.
Just the cam.
If everything else was okay while you were there.
If they're 100% liable. So that's best case scenario, Anita. That's if they were 100% liable, which they're not. I don't think you're going to get them to be 100%. They don't have a service bulletin or a recall, right? Are you there?
I'm here.
What do you think? I mean, we're trying to figure out a way to help, but Anita, I don't think Chrysler is going to step up and chip in $2,000 or $3,000. I don't think they're going to do it.
Probably not. I wrote to him. I've sent certified letters to him and haven't heard anything. But here's the deal, Tom.
Yeah.
In Longmont, there's 5 trucks sitting on the lot that are waiting for lift kits and cams because this is a known.
No, I don't doubt it. Okay, but before it becomes a mandatory recall where they pay, most of the time the government does not get involved unless it is safety related. But when it comes to performance related, I've never heard of a mandatory recall. Have you, Kevin? I haven't.
Every once in a while, if it's a very early failure, but they're failing at over 100,000 miles or 80 to 100. So I think that's their logic.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you're right, though. It's a very common, very well-known problem.
We're on your side. We agree that it is a problem, but they're not addressing it. I don't think you can make them. Unless you go, I mean, you can go through a big lawsuit and all that, but you're going to end up spending more money than you get.
Oh, no, I agree with that. But when I when I called headquarters, I can't tell you who the gentleman was, but he said that some dealers were offering extended warranties when this came to light, and he wanted to know if we'd ever been contacted by the dealer that we bought it from, and I told him no.
No, but they don't have to offer that. I mean, in other words, you're saying had I gotten that, it would have covered me. They should have called and they should have done it. That's going to be a stretch too. In other words, holding that dealer responsible because they did not offer that to you. See, it's just all the way around. You're almost there. I understand what you're saying. You're saying, look, man, I bought a truck. I had it from new. Why is it my fault now? I would be exactly the same way. Why is it my fault now? I need a whole engine. And had the dealer even told me anything about this, I would have gotten an extended warranty. But see, here's the deal. It's assumed that people research and know their own products. And it's assumed that you may have found out about this and you would have gotten the extended warranty or something. Dealers don't have to call you back and say, we found this or found that. And manufacturers don't have to be proactive. They don't have to be. When it comes to safety, the NTSB makes them do it sometimes, or the Department of Transportation. But this is not safety related. So this is just longevity related. And one would make the argument that you've gotten 119,000 miles out of it. At least you've gotten use out of it. And wouldn't you say fairly and, let's say, accurately, you got half of the life out of it? Would you say, Kevin, she got, or more? What do you think on this engine?
Yes, somewhere close to half.
But a realistic number. Do you think she got half or more life out of this engine? What is this engine typically?
A little more than half. That engine's probably 170, 180,000 mile motor.
Okay, so you got a little more than half out of it, which means even if you found them 100% liable, they would only be liable for the part of the engine they took from you, which is about maybe 45% of it. So
I wouldn't care if they were only liable for half. It would be helpful. But I get 200,000 out of my engine.
you know, I don't doubt it, but that's what I mean. You went a little more than half. Anita, have you come right out and asked the dealer you bought it from for help?
I got a hold of him. We bought it in Missouri, and I also
What'd they say? What did they say?
They don't. They just said that they have the same issues, but they have not extended warranties or gotten a hold of anybody. So.
All right. I want to hear from anybody. Mark, would you ever have this done and sue the manufacturer in small claims court for their portion of it? I think that's better than nothing. You can actually do that, Anita. You know, you figure...
It's out of warranty, though.
Yeah, but it's a known issue. You're right. I mean, no matter what, Anita, I don't think you're going to get help here. And I hope you appreciate the fact that we're trying to dissect this and tell you the truth.
And they usually fight that kind of stuff because they could set a precedent saying, okay.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's go to Betty again. Now, Mark, you looked over this thing, and I think we had an attorney glance at it. Betty?
Yes.
There's an assignment. There's a clause here. According to our attorney, this is most likely going to hurt you. It says basically if they transfer their ownership, the landlord's released from this deal.
No.
The owner's released. So that's not that bad. I mean, you know, you're living there, and you know, you'd get your deposit back and everything else. I would say that you need to cooperate. Okay, what the last thing you want is an eviction, and houses are selling pretty quickly. Is it a nice house?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're most likely going to sell it. They're going to sell it. I don't know what to say. The lease is, everyone who has a lease, you better look at that nowadays, because if people are renting just long enough to sell, you could end up out on your ass. You could in the middle of a lease. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And speaking of that, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, can help you look for a house if you're looking for one. We talk about how he sells houses all the time for shorter time and more money. I want to talk about how he represents buyers. If you're looking for a home, it's astounding how he finds these homes when they first come on the market. Here's another thing he does. After a house goes off the market, he can contact sellers directly and get you a great deal. He has strategies that I love. Everyone who uses them loves them. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
This report is brought to you by
Farmers Insurance. Just got word from
Hey, Mark, you know on Blinker, if you can sell a car that's not registered, you know, no license plate?
I don't think so.
I didn't see any way to do it either.
I don't think so.
If you can do what?
Sell a car that you just basically have title on, but it's
You
not
mean like
registered.
a junk?
Well, no, we got a couple of cars, one in particular that was abandoned, we're getting titles on. I didn't want to go through the registration process, just sell it.
I found a problem with Blinker too. So Suzanne's vehicle was in an accident, and we brought it to Michael's body shop and got it fixed. It was about $10,000. It was a big accident. So it shows up on Carfax as big accident or whatever. Because that's on there, even though it got fixed 100%, I can't sell it on Blinker.
Really?
Yep.
Why? What did they say?
They said because Carfax reports that it was in a big accident.
They don't want any
So they won't let any cars on there that's been in a big accident.
That's right.
Ridiculous. Why wouldn't they let the consumer worry?
I guess because they're afraid, because they're doing the financing on most of these.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Probably smart.
From their perspective, but what sucks is, you know, we didn't cut any corners. I didn't do the work myself. You know, my insurance company and Michael's Auto Body fixed it perfect.
Yeah.
And of course, you can go after the perpetrator, their insurance company.
Carfax really did change diminished value. It actually created a really beneficial argument for diminished value.
This is how you reach them. 303-597-4500.
And I find it strange, even though Colorado doesn't do it, why do some states don't even allow it? I don't even get it.
No, they don't
diminished
allow
value.
Diminished value.
Well, hold on. They don't allow you
For the insurance.
Yeah.
It's your insurance.
Your own insurance.
No. I'm saying in some states, they do not allow me, if you hit me and I have diminished value because you hit me, I can't even get diminished value from your insurance company.
Well, that's right. That's right.
In some
They
states.
do not recognize diminished value as a loss.
Which is ridiculous, because it is a fucking loss. That's my whole point. How do they say it's just not a loss?
The insurance companies lobbied for
That's right. You're absolutely right.
and said,
And then our fucking weak-ass politicians give in to it.
well, yeah.
Reliable internet.
It's exactly what happens.
$24.95 more per month.
I saw an ad
But
the
I'm
other
not
day.
sure, Mark. I'm not sure if
Contact business beyond.
I know that you're not allowed to sue your insurance company for diminished value in certain states. I don't know
Yeah, but
if that
usually
applies to consumers versus consumer. I don't know.
Is it just too vague?
Look
and
up
hard
Arizona
to
because they don't allow diminished value in Arizona.
Is it just too hard to prove, so they took the easy way out?
No way.
No, it's not hard to prove at all.
Well, I mean, how do you prove the dollar amount?
Well, you get an appraiser.
Yeah.
I mean, you really do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Up to 25% off our most popular flooring. Do you know that the most effective?
but I'm not sure how they handle personal.
No, Arizona is a diminished
Oh, it
value
is.
state.
Oh, I thought.
Which means you may be entitled to the diminished value of your vehicle after an auto accident.
Right. Go to one that doesn't and see if it applies in all cases or just insurance law.
Let me see, what states? I would guess there are states where you can't even go after the individual. Let's see here.
All in a convenient capsule or powder. We call it Texas Superfood Complete Organic. Hi, I'm naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, and I invented Texas Superfood almost 20 years ago.
Okay, here's a list of all of them. That's pretty
People
cool.
like you who lead busy lives get the all-natural nutrition that every one of us needs
Diminish.
and deserves. So if you can't, won't, or don't eat all your organic fruits and vegetables every day, Texas Superfood Complete Organic makes eating healthy easy.
Okay, Alabama, let's see.
What is our state here? Do we allow it? Yeah. Don't we allow it?
There's so many different kinds of diminished value I'm just learning here. There's numerous claims.
630 KHOW on iHeartRadio.
Arizona does not allow first-party recovery.
This afternoon at 4.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
If Denver's talking about it, you'll hear it on 630.
What's first party? Just if you own it?
There was 4 parties. I didn't read them.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Nikki, what's going on with you, Nikki? Welcome. What's happening?
Hello?
Hey, Nikki.
How are you?
How can we help you?
So I'm having issues with my trash company.
Okay. What's the issue? I mean, that's a very simple contract. You know, you pay, they pick up, right?
Oh, well, you would think.
What's the name of the company? Is it
It's American Disposal Services.
And
they bought out our previous.
Okay. Do they do
company.
a lot? Did you sign a new contract with them?
You don't really sign a contract with them. You just go in and pay your bill, and they cut you a receipt.
And you do month to month, is it?
It's quarterly.
Okay. How much quarterly?
The rate was supposed to stay the same as it was with our previous company, which was Lee's Waste, which was about $45 quarterly.
Yeah.
So we went down. Our bill was about due right about the time that they did the transition.
Yeah.
So we went down and paid and gave them our address to, make sure everything was kosher.
Cool.
And they skipped us the first week. So, they took our neighbor's trash, but they missed us. So we called them, and I told them, you guys missed us. Can you please come pick up our trash?
Sure.
And they were, very apologetic. We're so sorry. Well, they're, less than a mile from us.
Okay. Did they come back and do it?
No. No, they didn't
What
show
about
up.
next time around? Is it weekly?
Yeah, they're supposed to pick up every Thursday.
So what happened the following Thursday?
They didn't pick up.
Again?
And we're calling them repeatedly.
Now, why all of a sudden did they get the impression you canceled or didn't pay?
No,
Then
no, because we have been calling them repeatedly.
Then what's the reason, Nikki?
They're not really giving a reason. They just apologize and say, we'll send a supervisor and a truck your way. So
Okay, that sounds crazy.
Every time we call, we're on hold for like 20 to 40 minutes.
That's ridiculous. Nikki,
Yeah.
when was the last time you were scheduled for pickup?
Well, let's see. We paid on August 31st. They skipped the first week, skipped the second week, the third week. My husband actually had the day off because he had a doctor's appointment.
Go ahead. First and second missed.
Yeah, and they were about to pass us again. He flagged the driver down.
Okay, third time you got him. And then what about after that? What about September?
Well, here's the thing. When he flagged the driver down, he told them, you guys keep skipping us.
Right.
You've skipped us like
of course.
Going on 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And the guy just looked my husband up and down, pretty much accused him of lying about being a customer, and only took one can.
God.
We had 3 weeks worth
Well,
of
hold
trash
on now.
built up.
So where does it stand right now, Nikki? Where does it stand?
Well,
Are you using them or not?
No, the very next day, my husband went down because I had to work.
Yeah.
And he complained and he canceled the account.
Okay.
He's like, we want our money back.
Of course.
And we spoke to Christina Martinez.
Why should they keep $45 if they're not delivering? I mean, picking up.
They raised our rate. We paid $51.
Okay.
When we renewed the account.
All right.
And it was just a few bucks, so we didn't stress on that. But she was very.
Is that what you're calling about? Do you want your $51 back?
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
And the thing is, it's going to end up costing us more because not only do we have to get a new company to come out, but we're also going to have to pay an additional fee to have them take all that other garbage.
All right,
and
let's
we just want our money back.
I don't blame you.
She would get.
This is crazy.
She would reimburse us.
Nikki, this is crazy. Okay, hold on. Suzanne, let's call this company again and get the name up so I can warn people about them if they don't. I mean, come on. This is so simple, isn't it? We got Flexident of Colorado in the house, Sheridan Auto Tech. We're talking autos or anything else you want to call about. 303-713-TALK. You can get right through. I'll take your calls. Sheridan Auto Tech is special because of the man behind.
Yeah. I learned just not to complain.
Yeah. When did you learn not to complain?
With the trash I did, man. It's crazy.
You can't let that go.
They always win, right? The trash company always wins, so it's like, hey, it's that old more.
The best HOAs are the ones that they make everybody use the same garbage.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all the same.
But when you're out in the country, it doesn't work that
Since
way.
I've canceled Sirius, I've been getting notices almost weekly.
Why would you cancel?
I don't know. I just did.
God, I always use it.
So I get canceled. So they try to lure me back, and it went from $10 a month, $8. Now it's $5, but it's been $5 for the last like 6 or 10 emails. But they don't say that. They say last chance. Now you get 5 months for $60, or they'll say, or no, excuse me.
That's right.
Whatever the cost is, it's always $5 though, and now they said 6 months, $30. Isn't that fun?
I love it.
They haven't gone below $5, but $5 a month is a good deal.
We get the top package, and I pay about $100 a year, $110 a year for everything. Yeah, that way I can listen online.
I like their
traffic.
traffic.
I can listen anywhere.
I like their traffic.
I don't even care about their traffic.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's
the new Santa Fe and stuff. They have Doppler and traffic is pulled right in through that, but it's under a different service. It's got its own. It's almost like Google weather or some shit like that. It's pretty cool.
Fucking Hyundais, man, they got more technology than Mercedes. They really do. No, they're on top of it. I mean.
Oh, you know what's cool in this one too? They got full-blown outlets in it now. Like
USB.
No, inverters built in.
Oh, the 110. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit.
That'll beat the shit out of your battery unless you're running.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How many amp alternators?
It's got to be pretty low amp to
I would guess it's mostly used for like laptops.
The alternator though, what do you think it is? 100 amp, 200?
Well, 200. Yeah, they're all pushing 200 plus. Yeah.
What else did it have? It was pretty wild. It's all wireless.
With all the cars with
charging.
the lights that stay on when the car's off, and this. I mean, it's.
Did you see the G-Wagon out front? I know.
It's pretty.
I love it.
Oh, this is cool. When you walk up to the back, it just opens the trunk. If you stand behind it, you don't have to touch anything anymore.
But
if you leave a kid,
if you have the key.
If you have the key, yeah.
Oh yeah, if the fob's in it. If you have, this is really cool. If you have little kids or dogs, and you leave the vehicle and leave the dog or the little kid in there, it'll send everything, your auto start, everything's all through your phone. So you set your temperature and turn your vehicle on instead of like hitting a key to remotely turn it on. But it'll send you an alert if you left someone in the car.
It can sense there's something in the car?
It's got rear sensors. I guess people leave their babies in the car.
Yeah.
The truck, that brand
So
new
now
truck.
you can't. Oh, and it'll automatically lock the doors if you try to open them up and there's traffic coming, like if you parallel park.
And they give you a warning like, check back seat.
It parks itself.
My girlfriend was trying to figure out that, with her new Subaru going through all the automatic locks. Because she didn't realize that every time she walked up to the car, it unlocked it for her.
It's cool, yeah. So
she's trying to figure out why the hell the locks don't work.
Oh, and of course
and
you
I'm
do.
just
They
kind
just
of,
know
I'm just sitting there. We could let this go for a little while longer. Yeah.
That is funny.
It's crazy.
She's checking her door locks at the shopping mall. I know I locked it, and I get there and it's unlocked, and
Well, maybe you did.
Maybe you did. Be extra careful next time you lock them.
You know what I think is going to affect Tesla here now come October 15th?
I'll tell you what affects them is Elon Musk.
No, they lose their $7,500 federal rebate.
Oh, fuck. If they don't have a rebate, nobody's buying that car.
Not the cheaper ones.
No, Tesla, each car manufacturer gets 200,000 cars. And then the rebate goes away.
That's going to crush them.
You would think.
Is it going to go away?
They said they guaranteed it to the 15th of October.
Well, that just means they're thinking about it, I assume.
I saw First Man.
Which one's that?
First Man on the Moon about Neil Armstrong.
Was it good? That's a no. Don't even answer.
You know what? It's very inspiring, but it was not. They could have done way more.
It was boring.
Kind of.
What was the one where they were tethered out in space, and one of them finally, like George Clooney, broke away, and that was a great movie.
That's a terrible feeling.
Sandra Bullock and
God, I love space movies.
I do too. I do like space movies.
Mark, this isn't bad. I mean, it was more about their lives.
What's in the theaters right now has been your favorite? Last week or two. We were going to go see a movie this week.
Oh shit! Yeah, we've had some. Hold on. I gotta go to my Fandango account. We've seen some fantastic movies. What was the one? Damn, I'm so
Venom. I thought you said like
Venom. I love Venom.
What's it about?
Huh?
What's it about?
It's a Marvel.
It's a Marvel. Anti-super, kind of weird super.
Is it funny?
Yes, and exciting.
I really like that other one where he's a weird superhero.
Did you ever see Crazy Rich Asians?
Yes.
It's a formula movie, but it's fun.
I thought it was very funny, actually.
Yeah, fun. And the guy,
I like her in her half-hour comedy, too. She's pretty good.
What? She has a half-hour comedy?
Mm-hmm.
That girl?
Yeah.
Chew. The one who played Chew. What did she do?
She's in,
A Star is Born. You'll like it. A Star is Born. That's a good movie, Mark.
Is that a remake of
Yeah, Barbra Streisand. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was about what's-her-face.
Well,
she just plays
actually,
it?
That was the remake of the original.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I really thought it was, who's the Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
I thought it was about her.
It's not about her.
She plays Streisand?
No.
She plays that character.
Streisand played that same character.
It's similar to.
First of all, A Star is Born. This is the fourth one.
Yes.
And in each one, it's about a girl that's discovered by a guy, and she eclipses him in each one.
Yeah,
but they're
way
all,
too sexy.
but they're completely different storylines. So it's just the title that's the same. And then the main thing, the guy singer discovers the female singer, she eclipses him. So Mark, you'll like, I don't know, that's a good chick flick.
You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply.
I really like, I love movies. Stephanie and I go to a lot of
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe this hour, brought to you by Revitalized Health. for testosterone, estrogen, thyroid, optimizing your hormones, both for men and women. I'm a consumer advocate, and I really love touting stuff that is good for you. And we have some medical things here that we advertise that we truly stand behind and love, meaning that we've done them, we believe in them. We also have things that we go after, you know, like with the fake stem cell therapy and the chiropractors doing this. I just wish the government would do more to help us. We also talk about products for the home and the car. Today is Car Day, so we emphasize cars. Of course, never have just one topic on a show, unless you call about just one thing. So let's talk about that. What is on your mind? If optimizing your hormones is on your mind, 470 and Ken Carl, you know, most of their treatments, they last 3 to 6 months. So therefore, you know, you don't need a clinic down the corner. They're at 470 and Kipling. I like the location. And they do Bio-T treatments, which is the pellet therapy. And you can find them at thehormonebros.com or just Hormone Bros. The reason is they're 3 brothers that started this practice. They just do a great job, very likable. Here's the thing. They also do fillers for the face, including a needling process that stimulates your own collagen, which is like a permanent filler. If you're aging and your face is starting to sag and sink, it's really better than any of the other fillers. That's thehormonebros.com. Suzanne, did you call the disposal services?
I did. So this is going to be tough because it told me my waiting time to talk to somebody was 21 minutes. That's really hard to do on the show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to do that after the show, or I'm thinking about submitting an email to them on their website.
Yeah, we can do that. We're going to help, Nikki, because it sounds to me like a very simple issue. And that issue seems like, you know, hey, I paid. I didn't get service. I want my money back. Nikki, we're going to help you, okay? We got a comment on emissions because we got a call earlier from a guy who said he had a light on when he bought his car, but it had a current emission sticker. And then we found out if the current emission sticker from the seller is 90 days or younger, or 89 days and younger. Wow.
No, if the test was done within 90 days of transferring ownership.
Okay.
Because then they take that to DMV and use it.
Okay. All right, good. Greg, what is your comment?
I was leaving the house earlier and I heard Mark mention that the state-run admission centers were accurate and
well, he said they wouldn't fake it or they wouldn't.
Well, I had an instance where it was faked. I had a work vehicle that failed the emission test twice. I'd done before the second one. I'd done some things to get it to pass, but it still didn't on the second one. I mentioned it to a fellow that works for me, and he said I can get it for about $100. And I thought, wow, really?
Did he really do it?
Yeah. I met him on a Saturday.
Did he pay someone off, really?
Yeah, I paid someone off.
Okay.
Was it a diesel?
I want to know about it off the record.
No, it wasn't.
I want to know about it off the record.
This has been years ago. So
how many years ago?
Probably 7.
Oh, yeah. They've well, no, they haven't completely changed.
Well,
how did he do it, Greg? How did he do it? Did he just hook it up, or did he? They have to show some results.
Here's how they would do it.
Well,
if you could find someone, they'd put a fake car on there. They would put in your VIN number, all your info, then run a different car that passes.
How did they do it for you, Greg?
I think you manipulated the program.
I don't think you can do. That's too hard. I don't think they did
that. Well, my car went through. My truck went through. It was a work truck. It went through. They called my name. I went outside. I handed the guy discreetly a $100 bill plus $25 check for the emission test, and he handed me back a printed inspection report.
Well, how do you know they didn't put another car through? I mean, they could have. All I'm saying is, if
that whole thing sounded a little.
If people can cheat, they can cheat.
Out there.
Jeff, what's happening with you, Jeff?
Well, I had hired a company to build a raised deck at our home.
Yeah. Now, was there an existing deck?
No. Well, there used to be, but we had it removed.
Okay. So you're building, for all intents and purposes, it's a brand new deck.
Correct.
Okay, what happened?
So we met with the owner and builder. He gave us an estimate. We got many other estimates. Thought we did our vetting. So about 2-3 weeks later, we decided to hire this company. We met with them, got new plans because we didn't like the original plans or discuss new plans. They said, well, that's going to change the scope of work. We're going to have to get new.
Yeah, so where are we going with this? Rather than going through the whole process, where did the problem come in, sir?
So needless to say, we have never met with the owner again. We've met with other people representing the company.
I got a contract here you sent us. Did you pay the guy up front?
We paid a $13,500 deposit for materials.
Well, okay, yeah, jeez.
They.
All right, then what is that the only thing you paid so far?
That's the only thing we've paid so far.
All right, so right now, if you had to sum up the problem, you would say, I paid $13,500 down on a deck and blah, 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 what? And what?
We have got nothing, and we've basically let them go because we have got nothing.
Oh, my God. Wait, do you mean nothing? Were the materials delivered?
No materials have been delivered.
What? Nothing. Hold on.
Nothing.
Hold on. You were robbed, basically.
Yes.
No, are you kidding me? What does the guy say?
So they're saying now that we've canceled, they're willing to give our money back, but they're going to keep 25% of the whole project because we are in breach of the contract.
Okay.
Because we canceled.
When did you sign the contract? What date? It was here. Okay. 8/1. It was August 1st.
Well,
no.
That was when we got the estimate.
Yeah.
The revised estimate was.
All right. When did you sign?
Around September 7th or so.
Okay. And on September 7th you signed. And when did you cancel?
We canceled a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Roughly.
You were. So how can they say you signed September 1st and waited all of September and half of October? How can they say that you backed out?
Because I told them not to deliver the materials and fired them because they weren't willing to pull permits, they weren't willing to do anything, and
all right.
So I just.
When are they going to give your money back? Because I don't think they're going to even give you back what they said.
They said that they had 14 days, so they had filed. They had returned the materials supposedly last week, so today would be the seventh business or seventh.
I don't think. Listen, I don't think they're going to give you any money back at all.
I'm getting that impression as well.
I would start small claims. You paid way more than small claims. We got to call these guys. Deputy Dan, have you talked to him at all? I know you got the contract here. I don't see how.
No.
What now? Now listen. I know I'm going to hear about I call it the Antitrust Act. But what if they said we would be willing to finish it? How do you argue that? Because truly, if it's been less than, I said a month and a half. It was really a little over a month. You canceled, Suzanne.
And Tom, the contract's in your email.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Deputy Dan gave it to me. I'm just saying that. Have you had it done by someone else, or did you get another bid?
We're working on getting new bids now, but the problem is
I know you don't trust them, right? You don't trust them, but other than not starting in a month, I know that sounds weird, but if they were busy and stuff, tell me what got you. What was it that started you thinking? What was it?
The lack of communication.
Okay.
There's no redesign.
No follow-up.
We've got nothing.
Yeah.
We've got nothing.
And you started getting nervous. You started getting nervous. You see, they should have communicated with you. Deputy Dan, can you call these guys and say, look, you got to admit, if you pay $13,500 down and you don't hear one word, not one stinking word, not, hey, we're getting the materials together, don't worry, we're finishing up a job, we'll be there in a week. You know, if they communicated, you would have felt a lot better, right?
Well, when they communicated, it was 3 weeks later, and then we find out the crew they're supposed to send, they fired.
No, hold on. That's none of your business. So, 3 weeks later, what did they say to you?
Oh, we're ready to deliver materials.
And you said no.
I said I want to meet them because I don't.
You want to meet who?
Plans.
You want to meet who?
I wanted to meet who they were having build it.
Jeff,
I have no new plans.
Jeff, listen, man. you could be in the fault here. I'm just telling you off the record here, not off the record between you and me, but I have to tell you now that I'm hearing this. 3 weeks later, they call and say, we're ready to deliver materials, and you want to meet with who? With the new crew to approve them or something?
Well, yeah, because we never got new plans.
You have... But, okay, forget the plans right now. I'm talking about, obviously, they would have a plan when you, and you could have seen a plan. But what I'm getting at is this. To cancel materials and to say, you know, you don't have, it's as weird as this sounds, Jeff, you don't have a say in who they have do your deck. You don't get.
I wasn't worried about that. But what I wanted to make sure is that the plans they gave us were not the right plans.
Okay.
So I wanted to make sure what they were building.
All right, I get you. That's reasonable. But why fire them? Why not just say this? Okay, you can go ahead and deliver the materials, but before you start, I need to approve the plan.
Well, we did that, and then we asked 5 times about permits.
No, you didn't do that. You told me you fired him. You told me you fired him.
I did, but you didn't let me get through the whole story. So
well, no, Jeff, because I only have a 3-hour show. Jeff, hold on.
I get it.
No, seriously now, really, I don't want to get at odds with you, but don't give me that crap about you didn't have time. You have time to tell me right now because you told me before. You said that you were nervous, and I get it, and they weren't communicating, and I get it. And then you said you canceled, but you didn't say they called me, they wanted to start, and I told them no.
Correct, fair. And the reason why we canceled is they weren't willing to pull permits.
Oh.
And this is a raised debt.
Did they tell you? Okay, no, listen, I get it. Did they say that?
Yeah.
Did they say they refused to pull permits?
Yes.
How are you going to prove that?
We would have to pull that. I've got it in an email.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with you pulling a permit, but you wanted them to pull it.
Yeah. And
okay.
I said, yeah.
Okay.
And that's not in the contract. There's nothing on permits in the contract.
No, and technically, okay, this is the strangest conversation because I don't want people thinking I like this, but you don't have to pull a permit to have a binding contract. You know, crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but you don't have to. If they said, hey, there's nothing in here about pulling contracts, about pulling permits, and you say, but, you know, you have to because they require it here, technically that's outside of the contract.
What did the contract say?
Although it doesn't talk about permits, although there's something called negligence per se, which is kind of like, hey, because you're not doing things according to the law, you're automatically negligent. I don't know. Jeff, I think, honest to God, I think you reacted too quickly with the big guns. And they're going to say you canceled. But I want to call. Jeff, if you let us call, Dan, can you call and get the real story here and say, look, man,
sure.
He's claiming no communication 3 weeks, and he didn't fire you. He simply wanted to approve the plan. Well, he did say he fired him, but at the same time he said he wants to approve the plan. So I don't get it. Did you say, what did you exactly say when they called and said, we're ready to deliver materials? What exactly did you say?
So it was through emails, so I've got all of that.
Oh, good. Send them to us. Just send us the emails. Send us the string of emails. That'll put a rest to it. That's excellent that you have emails. It's excellent. I'm Tom Martino. He has emails. That's going to be good. Speaking of contractors, you'll never have a problem like this with Art of Granite. Never. We're talking about one damn good company, Art of Granite, Mitch Floria. He charges wholesale only for his materials. Except cabinets, there's a small markup. On all the stone, he's a direct stone importer and countertop material, flat out wholesale. Whether you buy from him or someone else, you can buy in his account. He only charges for fabrication and installation. He'll tear out and haul away free, do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. Here's the bottom line. You can get prices on the phone because of how he does business. He charges for fabrication installation. He can tell you what that's going to cost, and you can compare. He's proud of what he does. Artofgranite.net, 303-386-5919. Artofgranite.net, 303-386-5919.
That. They're both in Elizabeth, and he hasn't went and confronted the guy face to face.
What's the deal? This deck?
Yeah, they're both in Elizabeth, a town of 1,200 people, and he hasn't because he says, "Oh, I don't know the legal aspect."
It's like, dude,
That's like saying, you know, having,
Is he coming on?
I'll call him right now. The Cowboy Tully?
Yeah.
Isn't this terrible? Isn't that what a terrible, he just brags about himself and stuff? Or
I don't think it's terrible.
What's a terrible contract?
I just keep seeing more and more.
Why is it terrible? Because it doesn't go over anything.
Just remember the one guy, you know, that we had back before, you know, he said he's driving by, checking, and the car's not moving. It's like,
exactly.
Why don't you pull in?
That's exactly right. Exactly.
Throw a rock through the window. I mean,
absolutely. Why not? I don't know the legal aspect of
yeah. But I mean, he got cold feet and he wanted out.
What I would do, I'd take my refund and try to see some small claims. Go ahead, switch me over.
Go ahead, switch me over.
He said he canceled your loans.
Damn you wearing those Hawaiian shirts. I forgot.
Like I said, he didn't say anything, but you're right. He charged 25% off the whole contract.
And you won't find a better company.
I don't think Lowe's has a restock. If you never picked it up. Well, then they wouldn't restock it. Did he pick it up?
Why would he pick it up and not have it delivered to the site?
You would.
My home in Franktown so many years ago, and they still look beautiful. 303-421-7100. khwindows.com. Why don't you go to their website? You can make appointments right on the website. khwindows.com.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family. What kind of cereal should I buy?
How about something with more antioxidants, less sugar, and tons of flavor?
Well, I do like flavor.
Then it's time to make the switch to Grainberry cereal with amazing onyx sorghum.
What's onyx sorghum?
It's an ancient grain, rich in natural fiber for sugar control with more antioxidants than any fruit or vegetable.
Do you always hang out in the cereal aisle?
Yeah, pretty much.
Look for Grainberry cereals with amazing onyx sorghum. Grainberry.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word.
Where is LKQ? I got to go return this damn part. What's the closest one that you know of? Where's there only one?
On Federal? Like 64th and Federal? It used to U-Poll.
Oh, it used to be a U-Poll?
It is a U-Poll with LKQ, but there's an LKQ shop.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not as far as north as Rockies.
We literally work
so what's Rockies?
Oh shit, I don't want to go that way. Is there one like 70 and 225-ish? I thought there was. I'll have to look up their address. I know they have. I think they bought up a lot of shit.
They did.
I don't know if I can return it at any of them though. That I don't know.
Yeah. See, they deliver to us, so I don't actually go there.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
When you hire fuller injury law after your car accident, we handle everything so you can concentrate on
They do have one in
I'm Attorney
Aurora.
John Fuller, and I can help. Set up a free case
East
evaluation,
33rd,
personal injury,
11,600 East 33rd Avenue. That's like Peoria, 33rd Avenue.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
At 3 p.m. on KHOW. If you want to learn how to make money in the stock market, the Trading Group Show. Sundays at 3. Or call 888-646-8787 for a free demo. The Carolina Bellevue
Yeah, it's west of Peoria on 33rd.
Suzanne, we have a question for one of the stem cell docs. I'd rather it be Centeno, but anybody who feels comfortable about it. Okay, and the question has to do with cord blood. A lot of parents are hit up by a company, and it's a legit company that store the cord blood from their birth. But really, if you can't condense and manipulate those cells, how do they get them to the patients in the future if they need them? Because it sounds to me like the same problem anybody.
Because it is their patient, right?
Yeah, but you can't manipulate even those. So, in other words, it's the same problem. When you have cord blood shipped in or amniotic fluid shipped in, you're not allowed to concentrate them enough to keep the stem cells alive. So, is it any good? Is it necessary with the extraction methods we have today? Is cord blood storage a good idea? Is there a waste of money? That's pretty good one. I mean, I can really explain that. You just want to talk.
He just put some real conservatives that went through last night.
Oh yeah, 15
on the 9th Circuit.
Did you hear Kanye?
Fucking liberal, big time.
Did you hear Kanye, guys?
Yeah.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. Whether you're refinancing or buying, Ideal will get you what you need, and I say that because they have the interest rate guarantee, which means no matter what rates do, if they go down just 0.75% over 2 years, you get to refinance free of charge. And if it happens again, you do it again. Every 2 years, you get a 2-year guarantee, so you're always probably within a guarantee period when it comes to interest rates. They're either going to be stable or change within 2 years. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. That's IdealHomeLoans.com, where each loan is customized for your best interest, not theirs. IdealHomeLoans.com. Craig wants to give some kudos to Kevin over here. What happened at Kevin's shop?
Well, thanks.
And I
had an old '89 Toyota.
Yeah.
And I went to a couple of shops because the air conditioner wasn't working.
Yeah.
And they all wanted to change it out because it had the old R12. They wanted to convert to the new one.
Can you even get the old R12 still? I don't know.
I don't think you can, no.
I don't think you can. So they wanted to do the conversion.
I don't blame them.
Change out. It's going to be quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I took it. So I actually looked on your referral list with Sheridan Auto Tech. He looked at it and found out that, strangely enough, we had lived up in the mountains and a rodent had eaten through one of the wires. He just replaced the wire. The AC works. Still working today. $50.
Oh my goodness!
$1,000.
That is very
All right,
cool.
Kevin.
Yeah.
No, that is very cool. Kevin,
cool.
that's $50 compared to what?
Yeah, it was
Hey,
it was 5 minutes.
well, here's what I want to ask. If you do have that old system, though, even though you guys saved him a ton of money, so you can never find that refrigerant, eventually you're going to need it.
Yeah, you're going to have to convert it eventually.
Is that a lot of money to convert?
Nah. It's primarily putting charge valves and a sticker on it.
Okay, and then you use the new fluid.
Use the new Freon, yeah.
303-713-TALK. Jeff, we are. Did you make that call to the deck builder yet?
I did. I had to leave a message.
Okay.
Both in the office and a cell phone.
Jeff, we're going to work on this, okay? It can go either way. But I just need to say that worst case scenario, if they do give your money back, is what, 20%?
They went 25.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Of the full 20 grand, right?
Oh, that's a lot.
It's like 5G, man.
Jeff, yeah. Here's the deal, though. I fear if you went to small claims court and fought, saying they need to give it to me, all of it, it doesn't look, in my opinion, not a legal opinion, in my opinion, just on looking, it doesn't look like a breach of contract. It really doesn't. I mean, on a strict breach, because they were willing to do it. And 3 weeks is not unconscionable. And they called to deliver. And you're kind of now saying, oh, well, what about permits? And what about that crew? And why was it fired? And I want to know the new guys. And I want to make sure we have the right plan. None of that is specified in the contract. Obviously, it's reasonable to approve a plan. But they could always say, well, listen, we just wanted to deliver materials and get started. And he wouldn't even let us do that. And Jeff, I don't think your outside argument, I'm just going to be, let me just stop trying to be polite. Your arguments are not strong enough for, in my opinion, to breach that contract, to say they breached the contract.
You might want to swallow the pride at this point and have them knock it out.
I think you're going to lose, Jeff.
You have a better chance of him doing it and not doing it right than going after him.
I'm not telling them this. They might listen, but look, why lie to you? You may, in your mind, have all kinds of good reasons, and I almost identify with that kind of feeling, but because I do my homework up front, I don't usually get that. But I can see where you'd be a little antsy, and then, you know, I want to make sure they have the right damn thing, the right plan. But I would just be there saying, I want to make sure you have the right plan, but not necessarily just cancel the whole damn thing, because that gave them license to take your money. You know, so I think you're going to be skewered if you try to sue them for that 25%, because they're just going to say you breached the contract. That's what they're going to say.
And fair. Yeah, we just, I mean, our bigger concern was just the permits, because, I mean, where we're at.
But you never, and I agree with you, by the way. I do agree with you, but it's not in the contract.
He can pull the permits.
I know.
And we were willing to do that. They're not willing to do the work now.
Well, then you just change the whole thing up.
Well, do you have anything in writing that you canceled?
In the email, I said,
okay, did you send them? Okay, let's put this on hold. Free up that line. I want to look at the emails. Mark, I think this guy screwed himself. I really think he screwed himself.
Well, he didn't do the best things, that's sure.
Paul held last car day, so we got to get him on. Go ahead, Paul. What's going on?
Good
You have
morning,
you have an '05 Subaru Outback, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
What engine is it? Do you have that little turbo in there?
No, it's not the turbo.
Okay. Man, those turbo engines are powerful, but they blow. They blow. I've had more than one say, you know, they're just driving along and it revved a little high and bam, it blew. So anyway, what's going on?
Well, so a little bit of backstory on that. So I bought it from somebody that had purchased it because it had rod knock and they rebuilt it. So it was a car flipper, basically. When I bought it, they gave me passing emissions.
When did you buy it?
It was a while ago.
Like, okay.
6 months.
Okay, gotcha.
And a check engine light came on. I already gotten an emissions test from them when I got it, when I purchased it, so that was all done.
Yeah, gotcha.
The check engine light that came on was a P420 for the cats, so I got new cats on it. And then after that, it still came up with a different code, a 2098. So where we're at now with it is that I've taken it to Sheridan Auto Tech, and they have gone above and beyond being amazing at trying to get it diagnosed. And it is a freaking unicorn problem. One of the deals is it's the not turbo engine, but it has the California emissions exhaust. So one of the things that they did for me to try and diagnose it was take it to the Subaru dealer. Subaru dealer said to replace the whole wiring harness of the engine was their fix for it.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of at the point where all of their techs have gone through it. They can't figure it out. They want to rip their hair out trying to figure it out. And they've got a new tech, I guess, starting on Monday that we're going to try and bring it back and have them look at it.
Anyway, so do you recall this, Kevin, at all?
Oh, yeah. No, this has been an ongoing...
Well, what about it? What's going on? Bottom line.
This has been a nightmare car.
It is, and he's right about the unicorn. There's a couple different things that are not for the car and back and forth, but... Yeah, I mean, Subaru didn't want anything to do with it, and that's what their answer is: replace the car, basically. So we just got to get it back in and go through and do pin checks from computers down through the auction set. I mean, it's something we have planned for next week.
Paul, are you calling because you what? Are you warning others or what? What is the purpose?
No. For one, to say that Sheridan Auto Tech is amazing and the amount of work that they put in.
Yeah. But
and two, just to see if anybody else listening knows about that California emissions, if they've seen that before, anything on it.
Okay, because the California emissions, by the way, is not that complicated.
No,
right?
it's slightly different, some different standards, but somebody had got in the wiring harness and did
So what needs to be done right now? What needs to be done?
It's a time thing where we just need to take it and trace wires from one end of the car to the other.
Do you think it would be more efficient to have something like a Lakewood Auto Electrics?
Yeah, we've kicked that around as well. But yeah, we're going to take one more shot at it. I got an electrical guy coming in on Monday.
I'm just thinking maybe that would be better. Paul, you wanted to finish up. What were you saying?
Oh, I was going to say, I think they've already taken it to Lakewood. And I think Lakewood couldn't figure it out either.
Yeah, we've had it around. Yeah.
That would be serious. I don't know, man. So you're still continuing?
Yeah. No, we don't like to give up, and we haven't charged them anything yet. We're still just working to see if we can find something.
God, Mark. Yes, excuse me, Paul, stay where you are right now. Speaking of this here, Shirley. Hey, Shirley, if you can hang on a sec. You're calling, though, about bed bugs and mice. Is this in your place?
An assisted living.
And that's where you are. And there are bed bugs and mice?
Yes, and have been for at least 10 months.
Are there a lot of them, or is it is it ridiculous when you say mice? Do you see them, or is it just...
oh, yes. I caught 5 in just a few weeks' time.
All right, hold on a second. We'll come back and talk about this. And then we have her son on who's calling in support, and we'll figure out what's going on. Today is car day, so Rocky's Autos is easy to talk about. They are at Federal and 63rd, and they have a giant selection of used cars. But what I like is their system. They really have no pressure, prices clearly marked, and they approve everything on the spot because they originate loans from 40 different lenders. So they don't play the game where they get you in that car as quickly as they can and then call you back and then say, well, you know, we couldn't get you what we thought. You can't get the deal. We got to bring in more money. It's a different interest rate. None of those games. It's very simple. You find what you want. They have 40 lenders to choose from. They'll choose one right for you. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7. And it's that easy. Rockies, 63rd and Federal, 303-426-4646.
Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station. With Ross Kaminsky mornings, Michael Brown afternoons, KHOW, Denver.
Oh, this is
I went
pretty
out to
cool.
the Art of Granite, and I met Mitch. Came to America with $300 in his pocket. He starts working in granite.
Tom's got to buy one of these. What is it? I'm going to send it to you. They're coming online next month. You're going to love this. You better get one.
Quartz and other natural stone. He designs.
Send it to your email right now.
And then you buy only enough
This
granite
is the real fucking
You
deal.
don't have to buy the slab or
You get
2
two of them.
or 3, and then he makes it beautiful with our.
Are they ever going to get self-landing planes, you think? Would
They
it
have
be
them
easier?
now.
Really? That you can just let it go and stuff?
Shit, yeah. That right now, you can take an airline, some of these airlines, aircraft, take off, fly to the location. Now, that's if you don't have to worry about traffic and air traffic control. Otherwise, you might have to do a holding pattern. They can literally get to the location, everything. Fly the outer mark, first the initial approach fix, the IF, then the markers, and flare and touchdown. Absolutely right.
Look at these.
Right now with cars, it's much more difficult with cars, you're saying.
It comes online. It's $400,000.
Well, the cars are there. I mean, they're just.
Oh, yeah.
They're just doing.
There have been attempts at this, by the way. It's so.
That's mass market, though.
I
That's
just
a big
think
company.
it's the testing, the safety, the.
Well, airlines, like I said, if you have an incident, it's quite.
Park it right in your garage.
Well, you also have the pilot sitting there, so I mean, it's not.
Well, you know, they're short pilots.
Just.
You see, where was it, like FedEx? Is giving their pilots, like, who are retiring, like $65,000 bonus to stay on another year.
Well,
I love the
They
fact
really are going to try to do this.
they're selling them in 2019.
It's a good experience.
Call now
I don't
for a
think so.
complimentary no obligation visit with Linda Gardner.
Now these big, you know what I love? Except for the auto rotation parts, I freaking love these full size. There's nothing to fly in those. You could fly. Anybody could fly them.
Boy, you don't even need to fly.
Hello, I'm Tom.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is those 4 engine things, you just play a video game with yourself. You don't need any. You don't need.
And there's sensors everywhere, so you don't hit anything. I mean,
it's you're flying your own yourself.
A kid could fly.
Right.
With true living stem cells harvested from your own fat.
This is the most exciting when it comes to aircraft. This kind of shit right there.
Yeah, but you talk about the auto. You have to lose 4. That's pretty hard.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. God, that is a beautiful one right there. You love it. That is.
Explore your options at a true medical regenerative clinic. Centeno Schultz, 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201. And on my referral list,
that's always been the problem, like even with those jetpacks or those individual flying things, that there's no, well, I guess you can do a parachute, but you can't do a parachute if you're 100 feet above. 100 feet.
You could do a parachute in those.
That's right.
In the drone, you shoot right out of the center.
You sure as hell can, because you don't have to worry about a rotor. That thing would be, I think that's going to be the personal flying machine of the future, as opposed to these guys with helicopters and airplanes. Why the hell would anyone own a helicopter or airplane?
Oh, here it is flying. Oh, that's pretty
Which
cool.
one are you looking at, Mark?
The one I sent you.
No, we're not talking about that one, though, Kevin. Here's the one we're talking about.
I think it's just going up and down.
The one we're talking about, let me see it. The one we're talking about is this. This is truly.
Oh, yeah.
That, anyone can
that
fly
makes more sense.
Look at that.
No, this is for sale now. It starts at 19. $400,000. It's a car airplane.
Well, why not just get an airplane?
But this right, well, because you want to drive it.
You can park it in your garage.
This one,
what do you do with the wings?
Look at it.
But this one is going to change aviation. I'm sorry, this is going to change the face of aviation.
Yeah.
It's going to change.
Aren't they in Saudi Arabia or
Anybody can
whatever
fly
they want
it.
to?
Anybody can fly it. I mean, you're done.
Look at that thing. That thing's cute as hell.
I'm here with Gabby from
How much is this one?
I don't know. I don't think they're around yet.
Aren't they selling like in Dubai or something where they fly from hotel to hotel without a pilot or anything? I thought some of the things like that.
Well, you could have air taxis.
No, they do. They have them right now in Dubai. They go from building to building.
Really, right now?
Honest to God, right now. They only go from building to building, rooftop to rooftop.
How many engines?
I think so 4.
It's either 4 or 6.
Okay.
That's 303.
And they're arrested?
A camel. Put a camel in there.
Dubai unmanned air taxi.
Hello, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Simply Floors, Inc. For Simply Savings, Simply Floors, Inc. Here's the drill. Floor coverings are floor coverings are floor coverings, okay? Most everyone carries the same stuff. Buddy Mitchell's in a buying group which allows him to buy the same as big guys, and he chooses to make less profit and pass on savings to consumers. He still makes money. He's at 52nd Ward, off the beaten path, southwest corner, but he'll go to your home and do in-home shopping, which gets you routinely 20% off, all the way up to 50% depending on the product. SimplyFloorsInc.com. Make your own appointment. Let's go to and see what's going on with Shirley. Shirley says it's terrible. I'm going to talk to her son, Mark. She's in assisted living, says bed bugs and mice. Hey, Mark, are we talking about a true infestation? I mean, where it's like more than your mom affected?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. This is about a 100-year-old building with, I don't know, roughly 100 units. I mean, it's large.
And are they all senior assisted living?
They are senior assisted on the second and first floor, and maybe like more of a nursing home on the basement. But yeah, you know what happens is they get a room here and a room there that has the bed bugs, and they will treat that room, but they won't do what it takes to get rid of them. I mean,
I mean,
holes through the walls. They travel.
To get rid of them takes major effort.
Right.
They might have to displace a lot of people for a while. It's not an easy thing. How bad is it though? Do you notice it when you go there? Can you see? I mean, you can't see bed bugs, but how do you know it's so bad?
Well, I mean, my mom gets notifications of this room has it and that room has it. They're basically on maybe both sides of her. She could speak to that, but
now
they're all over the place.
I'm thinking the most realistic thing is to get out of there. I mean, really.
Right. They also supposedly attach themselves to the mice that run around and then get transported. And they're constantly bringing people to innovate, and I mean, they got a common lunchroom.
Well, what are you hoping can be done? What do you hope?
Well,
because they have to vacate the place and basically do a major if they have infestation like that. It's major. I mean, they have to heat treat the place or something like that, and then with the mice, I don't know, unless they're really just not doing it comprehensively. Maybe a guy could go in there and just treat for both, put up traps and get it done right. Maybe they're just trying to penny pinch. I don't know. Who are the owners?
What it comes down to is the money. Well, I mean, it's the Argyle.
Have you talked to the owners?
My mom has tried to talk to the people, the owners and managers, and she's even called the news a few times. I mean, my intent.
Have you ever gotten any news? Have you ever gotten any news coverage?
No. And these bugs are possibly getting taken everywhere. Every time someone takes the accessoride,
I know. Listen, this is a problem. Listen, man, this is a problem. No matter how much we talk about it, it's going to remain the same. It's a problem. In other words, we're not talking just your mom here. I can't tell you, my God, how many bed bug complaints we get. I don't know what to do about it. It is like an epidemic. If you go to a hotel, they can hitchhike on your luggage.
Right.
If you're in an airplane and your luggage is in the overhead bin next to someone else's, you can get it. Yet they can climb in the seams of zippers and the pockets?
Have you ever had them?
Me?
No. Yeah.
No.
I have.
Me neither.
I have not.
But Mark, don't be cocky about it.
I'm not. We get a lot of calls. It's constant.
You can get them at no fault of your own, and then what?
Oh, I've seen them at nice hotels like Hilton. You read stories about them.
I totally understand that. I just didn't know if they were doing like half measures or if there was some way we could.
Yeah, you can put pressure. Yes, you can. You can. Here's how you do it. You get strength in numbers. You get other people who, and then you write a letter to management, and you copy people in the media.
And a video of some mice running around would help.
Okay.
We will help you make noise if you can get other people involved and simply list your concerns in a bullet point thing. I'll help you compose a letter to management, and then I'll tell you where to send it to get some media attention. Again, the media is inundated with this kind of stuff, and I'm not sure even the media will do much about it.
Now, I want to ask this, though. I'll ask Kevin, and I'll ask you. If this was your mother, I know your mother has passed away.
Yes.
What would you do? Well, Kevin, what would you do?
I'd find a new place.
Exactly, or you'd have her move in with you or something else.
Not
temporarily.
Can afford a new place, Mark. That's expensive.
I'm not saying.
Well, you're right.
I'm asking these two.
No, move in with you, absolutely.
Or move in with them.
Yes.
No, he's absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. You do something about it. Don't wait. But maybe Mark can't afford it. Maybe she can. I don't know. 303-713-8255. Now, the 2014 Chevy Impala with ambient air temp sensor, that's just basically what tells you what the temperature is outside, right, on your dash?
No, it'll also affect your air conditioning. If it registers below, say, 45 degrees, it won't turn the air conditioning on.
Hey, John, is the ambient air temp sensor out? John? All right, hold on. I'm sorry, we're going to regroup here. John, get ready. After the break, I'm going to come back to you and talk to you. TheRaleighHouse.com. If you're looking for drug addiction treatment, substance abuse treatment, TheRaleighHouse.com. The number I'm going to give you is not, well, you can use it to call and sign up if you want it, but that's not really what we're doing. This is not a hard sell here. There are so many things you need to do before seeking treatment, right? You got to make sure it's the right fit. That's why this number is for people to call with any question in the world about addiction. Think of any question you can think of. What are the telltale signs? Does it get worse? How do I tell one addiction from another? What do I say to an addict? How much does treatment cost? How many different options are there? How does the Raleigh House differ? Does insurance pay? Can you help me? Can you call the addict in my life? You know, any question. There are no questions off base. The Raleigh House truly, they do a great job assisting families. They can assist you. 720-893-5559. Everything starts with information. Here's the information line, 720-893-5559.
Which one?
Sponsored by
Cleaners.
Oh, yeah, you said you did.
Good job. Dan, did you buy a bag at Dietitian?
No.
No?
Do you want me to bring that one back there and stuff? I just used some of it. So
No,
you gave me some.
that's fine. I think I'm gonna buy a bag.
Oh,
Because I was gonna take some, I wanna take some to Hawaii with me and, spray it in the
Airplanes
room.
bore me right now compared to when you see these drones. These are the coolest things in the world. Do you realize?
Oh wow!
My son can get in there and fly. I mean, you need some depth perception and stuff.
No, you don't, because of the sensors. Oh, you can't fuck them up. When my little drone is in basically safety mode, you can't fuck them up.
Hard it is to get a helicopter license. Less than 2% of the entire population of pilots, or less than 1%.
Because it costs.
No, it's also training. Can you imagine that vertical? I mean, you can hover, you can do anything. You don't need training. You can just do. I mean, obviously, they're going to probably require a license, but you know what? It's not going to be anything like we go through. Fucking anybody can have it.
It'll be more of like an operator license.
It'll be the greatest
they
I mean, God, I would love it. I just couldn't even imagine getting in something that easy and doing this.
Very, very deep from all the thousands of years. See, exactly.
And each one knows where everyone else is. In other words, air traffic would be unbelievable.
That would have to be truly, if it really got ubiquitous, it's got to be like really controlled. I mean, literally highways where you go certain places. I mean, you got it. Otherwise, it would be madness. But look, my condo's over there. And the powder on
And they're tiny, they fit. You know, a 1 or 2 man would fit right in any parking space already made.
We could do a laser, that laser pointer to my apartment from here.
I could fly my drone over there, no problem.
So, you know, it's I put it in my car.
I could fly right over to you where you could grab it and take it in. Isn't that wild?
To my deck. Would you go over and see my deck on the GPS?
Yeah, of course.
We should experiment that. And you know what? Do it live on the air. And you can fly over and I'll be on the deck like that.
So don't do live Facebook. I just connected to whatever Facebook.
That's the only negative thing that I've ever heard about.
Actually, I don't know why you don't have one, just because you live over there. It'd be so fun to just fly off that
I'll
deck.
go, yeah, get in, I'll bring it back and stuff.
I think I have
having control of that over the city.
which, well, actually it's not that bad.
But if I panic, I just hit the button and come back.
At home, I don't know how you do it like that high. That I don't know. I don't know how you do it from that high. I would think you would have to. What I would do is I would hold it and let it take off, and then when it came home, it would go to where you were holding it. I don't think it can come down and then come in. Does that make sense? But I've never attempted it.
You'd have to lean out pretty far.
Like you said,
But still.
When you do a regular takeoff, it goes up.
Do you want to buy a new one? I'll buy your used one.
4 or 5 feet. No, it's the same miles. There's no difference in miles.
Yeah, there's Will Smith has that show.
I bet they've gone
You know what I
down.
love the most? That's the biggest advance in these things, because before you had to always be controlling. But what I want to ask is this is something that I thought was so confusing. I don't know how you do it. Does the camera turn plus the thing turn, or they turn together?
On mine,
Because if you turn them separately, that's almost impossible. How the fuck would you know?
on mine, I can adjust with this right here. It's a roller ball,
Go up and down.
but
Not this way.
no. But
That's logical, because I want to know where I'm going.
No.
If you're turning this way and going this way,
but ones that they use to film movies. I mean, they use them big
go
time
this
now.
way and film this
No,
way.
they'll have a separate operator for the camera.
Does this still give you
Its own remote that does everything,
Yeah, of course.
while the other guy is flying.
Have you seen all from
Clarity.
usage
It could be like
clarity?
The oil fields are huge. They used to have to fly a helicopter.
I know, over the lines, you know, guys that I know are losing, that I don't know, but they depended on those contracts every day.
Well, it's just like you put it in a puffer, you know, the...
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 33713-TALK. Budget A1 transmission and auto repair. This is crazy. Today is car day. You know what they're doing? They do 1 hour free diagnostics. You bring in a car and, you know, they do some diagnostics. If there is a transmission problem and you think you're willing to get it fixed, okay, within reason, no obligation. No obligation. If you have a transmission problem, they tear apart the transmission free of charge. Free of charge. And if you decide to have the work done, you don't pay for that tear out. They just fix it and put it back in. Now, you may want to go somewhere else to get it fixed. They still don't charge you. They'll put the stuff in a box, give you the car, you go somewhere else. Now, let's say it's cost prohibitive and you decide, no, you know, on second thought, I'm not going to get it fixed. Then you take the car and the box of parts and you leave. The only complication is if for some reason you decide not to get it fixed, but you still want to put back together. Then there would be a small charge, but it would be very minor, and that would be negotiated up front. There is a no-lose situation. You cannot beat this deal. Budget A1, transmission, and auto repair, and that number is 303-781-9858. They're at South Santa Fe, on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth, along Frontage Road there.
The owner's Mark Machowski. That's a free teardown of your transmission if you have a problem with no obligation. 303-781-9858. So what's new in the Flexident world? Here's what I want to know. Do they have any new tools since it came out? It looks like you guys have been using the same tools for paintless dent repair for 100 years. And they used to do it 100 years ago on tractors and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you actually, back in the 80s, you'd build your own tools out of antennas and just strange things.
Is there are there any power tools of any kind that can be used?
No, not really power tools. It's just
not at all, ever.
Yeah, just certain designs shaved. I mean, they're coming out with different
But really
designs.
Nothing really new.
No, I mean, no, it's pretty much the same.
It's all in your hands.
Yep, pretty much.
Do you ever
same
get
technology.
sore? Can your hands get sore doing that work?
Oh yeah, I've been doing it for about 20 years, and
it really can, because you're massaging metal, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, you're pushing metal.
Unbelievable. 303-713-TALK. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, Todd's got a comment on these bed bugs. It is an epidemic. I'm telling you, it's getting unbelievably bad. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Tom, we had bed bugs, and we called your Black Widow spider.
I love them.
Black Widow
Paul over at
Terminators.
Yeah, we use Black Widow all the time, yeah.
Awesome guys. And heat treating is not all what it's cracked up to be. Super expensive, and it does not get rid of all the bed bugs.
I heard it can hurt your house, too.
How
did you get rid of them?
Tempered. You can order it off Amazon. Black Widow told us about that 6 weeks.
What is
not
it?
A bed bug to be found. It's just some sort of
powder
liquid that you mix with water and spray around your we sprayed everything around the dressers.
Is it safe, sir?
Dashboards. It's safe for animals, so we have 2 dogs and never had a problem with it, and it got rid of them completely.
That's great. Thank you for telling us about that. Oh, I need to get the actual name. Now spell that.
TEMPRID, I believe.
Tempered,
I got
or
it off
something.
Amazon.
Okay, or something similar. We'll look it up. Tempered. Okay. Now, John, we haven't forgotten about you. The ambient air temp sensor, is it bad? Your phone, I'm so sorry. A little better. A little better. On that 2014 Impala, it's only in one place. Have you looked online to see where it is?
It doesn't know. It just talks about it.
All right, let's figure this out. Maybe we can call Pure Boy Chevrolet or somewhere to find out. Meanwhile, John, we got to try to get you a better connection, okay? I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. More coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Have you been hit with hail? Get your car fixed without body fillers and without messing up your paint.
Did I just do Joe Lazare or not? I don't think he does.
I don't remember that. But you do a lot with the glue, too.
Yeah, I was
glue pulling. That's relatively new, is that? Yeah. I mean, 2000 or so.
I just watched this guy. He took a little version of mine. It's tiny like this. Put it on a weather balloon and put it into fucking space. I just watched the whole video. The weather balloon equipment. It had some kind of camera on the weather balloon looking at the drone.
Yeah. Some of those big ones. They can golf ball size. I can put it back up and I've done some cars 5-6 times. 3 years in a row, yeah. Come back and oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they'll give me $275 for an iPhone trade-in. My God, I could sell my phone for $500 or $600.
I was in Texas one time and they said there was bed bugs in there and some guy told me toothpaste.
Temperature sensor.
Toothpaste and rubbed it on the bottom all the way around the bottom.
Where is
it?
In the front of the vehicle, left center, mounted to the rear of the lower grill.
You see what?
Well, I'm on one of our.
They were trying to get away because I smeared that toothpaste all over the bottom. They don't like toothpaste? Yep, that minty stuff.
Oh, they don't like that. So maybe that's maybe.
Can you imagine that though? A drone
like I said,
that you can fly into space.
The sheets and went and smoked a cigarette. I came back and I just pulled my blanket.
But wouldn't you need to? I mean, once you lose gravity,
I've never seen any. I'm like taking pictures.
Once you lose gravity, the thing would fly wonderful.
Well, I'm just saying, it'll take you to go crazy.
What is a hot box for dents?
Hot box helps the metals keep the strength after it gets bent.
What is it?
It actually
is it like a heater though?
Yeah, it actually heats the metal up and tightens it up.
We call that a blow dryer in the biz.
Yeah.
But does it make it easier for you to massage it into place?
Yeah, well, I mean, after the metal gives away, it loses.
Will it go back?
So then you take that heat and it actually just heating it, and then you hit cold and you shock it, and it actually tightens it up. So then you can move it.
Is it possible you move it when it's heated and then freeze it back?
Yep, and then you want to hit it with cold right away. So you'll start working the damp, work it out some, and then just as it's about to lose its strength, you heat it up, and then you hit it with cold.
Do you use it?
Tightens it up.
Do you ever use one?
I've used one a couple of times, but I got guys that use them.
Is it possible you fix hail damage and they move to extreme hot or cold, and years later they all pop back in?
That's what I was just asking. Yeah.
Okay,
Or maybe because my concern was doing it too many years in a row.
Oh, multiple.
Yeah, and he's done them 5
Get these little dime-sized ones real light. You get a real hot day, you go to the cold car wash. Some of them won't come out.
They'll come back or come out?
They'll come out on their own.
By super cold water.
Yeah, they go. Hot, then cold. Yeah. Get it really hot, and then really cold in it.
Yeah, I thought that was a myth. Somebody told me that. I was like, nah.
No, it gives it more strength. It does tighten it up.
Huh. So maybe like in Phoenix, the pay you to drive down to Phoenix.
Get out there and have it cold.
Go get a bag of ice.
A bag of ice water and across the hood. And yeah, a lot of them might.
There goes the windshield.
Your car be sitting there, cracking, popping.
Will that crack a windshield if you get hot and cold?
Yeah.
Or cold, you hit one hot.
Just cold. We get them all the time where people will leave their cars, not all the time, but they'll have a chip, and we'll have a frost and a snow, and then the snow melts off, and here's this crack. It's like, well, that crack wasn't there before. It's like, well, yeah.
But if there wasn't a chip.
If there was a chip, it wouldn't crack.
Oh, this is fucking amazing. This is a hot wand, a heated wand that goes across and takes them right out.
Yeah.
It looks like an eraser.
Like a little sanding block.
Look at this, Mark.
But it takes it out?
It's like an eraser.
What's it called?
Okay, go look at, it's called Hotbox PDR, world's most advanced. But you got to find the one, it's like a fucking eraser. He's doing this. And they're coming right out.
Yep. My body shop days, I used to take a little brazier torch and just go around the outside and then hit it with a squirt bottle and you buy no pop, just let it out. They can heat, but you'll burn the paint.
This is 1800
Watch now. Watch.
Yeah, the hot box is pretty new.
Now watch this wand.
Is that going to replace
and then you can hardly see the depth. Yeah, look at it. It'll take it right out. Watch this one. Look at it. Look at that. It's freaking amazing.
How much is something like that?
$2,000 for the metal.
Is that that is freaking he's just going like that right over it.
Right over.
And it's well, I don't think you can do it for all of them.
You know what?
And you can
I'm going to start doing PDR.
If you overstretch it, you're screwed.
Yeah. Well,
you know, as with everything, things look easy until you actually do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that probably can't get out. That many.
It won't get out those
hard big ones are not going to get.
Those cornered ones that he does. Oh God. Oh, Mark, this one is the best one.
This one, yeah.
That's why it's important to me to remind veterans.
Wait, where is it? I want to show you.
That's what I got it up on.
Look at this one. Look at when you see the vertical one right there. Look, now watch. Freaking amazing. Just right over it, came right out.
Is that better than the suction cup kit you bought, Dan?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, that thing is great. I was going to practice on Tom's car.
Yeah, look at it, just tighten it right up.
I'm so confident your kit would work. I am willing to dent his new Mercedes so we can prove it.
I think so.
You know, I'll tell you what, the G-Wagon, God Almighty, is that sheet metal thick?
Is it?
Have you ever? Oh,
no, because most of the new cars are not.
It's heavy, heavy.
This whole car is heavy.
I wonder if that makes it really hard to
face up. Pictures, it's hard to see that.
I hope you never get a chance to tell, Nick.
It says in combination with PDR.
Yeah, so he's pushing up underneath there.
Nobody's doing that on this one. Nobody's pushing up on this one. This guy's just doing this.
It's that fast.
Look. Boom, boom, oh, out.
It almost looks like a welder.
Can you overdo it?
Yeah,
I'm able to do it.
Yeah, just like those bastards when you're at the state fair and they show you how to weld aluminum. I'm like, things are melting and shit starting on fire. Or throwing dynamite.
And I do appreciate you being around.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by One Clear Choice Garage Doors. If you need a garage door adjusted or fixed or broken spring or anything on the spur of the moment, or you want to plan something that's good, if you bought a home, you want to know the shape of your garage doors, he'll do free Martino inspections. Now listen, that they want to find something wrong, but they'll do it free. I mean, they're not going to look for problems that are not there. These are good people. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. You can always depend on them. I'm in the business of recommending people. And listen, there are enough good people out there. I don't have to find bad ones, right? So, yes, we have paid advertising, but everyone is checked out and approved. That's what Referral List is all about. Also, it's what this show is all about, helping people. OneClearChoiceDoors.com, 303-565-6409. Okay, now, let's talk to Jane about her Honda. Then we're going to talk to Tanya. She said an agent lied on life insurance. You know what? That is a problem. And we need to talk about what happens if you think there is a lie. And I'm really anxious to hear that. But I want to take quickly, Jane's been waiting a little longer. Jane, you want to tell us about your 2018 Honda Civic? A nice car. What's happening?
Well, it's a turbo, and I've tried to find on the internet what the maintenance schedule is, and because every time I ask the question, they just say, wait for the light to come on, the wrench light to come on. But I have 6,000 miles on it, and I'm thinking it probably needs to have some kind of maintenance at this point.
Well, of course. Don't you have an owner's manual?
I do, but it is not in the owner's manual.
What?
No kidding. No kidding. The maintenance schedule is not in there. So I just have that general question. It's not a problem today.
You want to know where to find out maintenance. I find it almost impossible to believe they don't reference maintenance in the owner's manual. But online, you have to be able to find
it. Might have had a separate book that came with it that's no longer there.
That's possible, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Mark.
But, Kevin, you can look it up, can't you?
Yeah, it's an arbitrary thing anyway, depending on the driving. So if you have, severe driving, non-severe...
She sounds like a pretty severe driver.
No, but seriously, there still is...
My general rule of thumb is 6 months, 6,000 miles, either one.
Yeah, but she wants to know about her car. I know what you mean. There are certain cars sometimes they say at 20,000 you must do this.
Oh, I see, the scheduled maintenance.
You know, that kind of stuff.
No,
isn't that what you're talking about, Jane?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
She could call either of our stores and they can give her that over the phone.
But she wants to be able to download something. And I'm looking here, and Honda has a website, and they have an Honda owner site with downloads of every manual you want to know. I don't know why you found that hard. I'm not trying to insult you or anything, but I mean, I found it in 5 seconds, so there. Jane, listen, here's what I would start out, okay? It's owners.honda.com. That's that's the root directory of this. It's owners.honda.com, and I'm going to see what happens when I hit the root only. When I hit the root only, welcome Honda owners, and then you can open up an account and register. You put in your year, make, and model. They will get you everything that you need to know about that car. And they even have videos on pairing your Bluetooth and navigation. I know I did this for my G-Wagon, and it was because I didn't even have a manual. I didn't know where it was, and then I realized they don't issue one. They have downloads for everything. Did you know that? They don't even have a manual that I could have. It was just, everything's downloaded.
There's too much info.
So it's wonderful. So did you get that? It's owners.honda.com.
Okay, now one more question. Can
you can have
I
as many
go
as you
anywhere for this service?
Yes.
On this. Okay, and
you know why? Now listen, they're going to tell you, well, you should come to a dealer. Here's the thing. If it's a warranty repair, dealers have to do it if they're going to be paid by Honda. If it is regular maintenance even within the warranty period, you can have it done by anyone. The issue is proving it, right, Kevin? Don't you have to sometimes...
Absolutely.
You have to email or print out for a
Yes.
representative, right?
Yes. So be sure to keep all your records.
Well, and have
a good shop
a good
that
shop
keeps their
does it anyway.
records.
Don't you keep people's
Absolutely.
records?
We have them 20 years.
So, Jane, that is the answer. You can get it done. And, in fact, I encourage people to have their stuff done by good independent people if they trust them. They don't have to. I mean, there are good dealers. You know,
I agree.
There are good dealers. So anyway, and with you, you want to know a great dealer? Planet Honda.
Okay.
Those Planet people are good people. It's the old, it's the Payne family. Now the dad, I used to joke with Leo Payne in the ass. His name was Leo Payne, and I used to call him Leo Payne in the ass. I, honest to goodness, didn't love the way he ran his dealerships back then, but the kids, the sons, and the daughters, and the family, golden, golden. You'll never go wrong there. They're not on the referral list. You know, it's funny. We don't have a lot of dealers on our referral list. It's just one of those things. We just don't have a lot of new dealers on our referral list. All right. Mark, you wanted me to take Karen? Karen. Okay. What's going on with Karen? Karen?
Yes.
What's going on?
Karen.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, Tom, we have an address at 1150 East 66th Avenue in Denver. It's basically 66th and Downing. We cannot get internet service down there. And I've called Comcast and CenturyLink.
I mean, no one goes there.
No one. The only one I can get is HughesNet, but I read their reviews, so I'm not going to touch them.
Huh.
But Comcast is just putting us off month after month after month. Finally, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I finally got a hold of a lady named Mary, and she said, well, we're waiting on permits, and where's my note?
I can't believe there's a neighborhood that has zero internet access.
That's what I'm
Well, you're
thinking,
talking Comcast.
No, she's talking Comcast and CenturyLink. Now, there are all kinds of wireless
Wait a minute. So you can't even get a phone put in your house?
I can get a phone.
Well, why
I
can't you get
internet.
CenturyLink then?
I don't know. I just called them a week ago.
Well, you know what it is?
Mark.
It's just not worth it to them.
It's a business, Mark.
Oh, it's a business, a commercial?
It's a business.
It is a business with a rental house on the property, and the renters want internet.
Does anyone else have
it?
Well, have you knocked on a door? Does anyone in there? I'm sure people have internet.
Well, there's a business right next door to us called Capital Lumber, and they have internet service, and across the street
And who's
is
their provider? Who's their provider?
Well, I haven't asked them, but the people across the street
What's the name of the place?
The Lumber?
Yeah,
Capital Lumber.
Suzanne, ask them who they have for internet at Capital Lumber.
They're to the west of us, right?
Yeah, but if
next
they're
door.
across the street, they'd have to run a cable under the street. That's not cheap. That costs a fortune.
But Mark, what do you mean if they're across the street? If who's across the street?
If Capital...
Capital Lumber is not across the street. They're our next door neighbor
What
to the
difference
west.
does it make, Mark? I'm wondering who the suppliers are in the area. I'm not looking for to hook
I'm
up.
saying if where she wants it, there is no physical cable run there, someone has to physically run a cable there. That's what I'm saying. That's not cheap.
Are there really neighborhoods that have no access like that? That is why...
Commercial buildings, yes, absolutely. My Goodyear in Peoria had no cable coming in, but the hotel right across the street did.
And?
They said if I wanted to pay 10 grand and get the city to dig up the street, they'd come out and run the cable. Of course I'm not going to do that. Why would they run cable for one guy that's going to spend $100 a month?
You're right. So, what about wireless? There's all kinds of wireless services. We used to have that one we did business with.
There's a microwave company.
But what happened to them? The one that we used to... They used to be a good service, a good alternative. Do you remember that? We advertised for them. Damn, I can't remember the name. But I'm sure...
There is a good one.
Suzanne, let us know when you find out, just for the heck of it, the Capital Lumber, who they have. 303-713-TALK. Okay. Tanya, you said an agent... How did an agent lie? Tell us your story. How long ago did you get life insurance?
Okay, so I went and I met with Glenn Connor in May of last year, May of 2017, and
for what?
We used to work together. So we for life insurance, for coverage on my father, coverage on my husband, and coverage on my daughter's.
And
dad.
what happened?
So I thought he signed everybody up with term life insurance. So we signed everything. My dad.
How many policies?
3 policies.
Okay, gotcha.
So I have 3 policies with him. My
and you
dad
thought
just
and you
passed.
thought they were term.
I thought they were all term.
Well, when you sign up, it's pretty damn clear when you're signing papers what you have, right? I mean, there's all kinds of papers.
Well, so the papers that we signed were just, they didn't say what type of insurance I was getting. They
Okay.
just were, he was writing everything. So
All right.
keep in mind, he's doing all the paperwork. All I did was sign it. My dad signed it. My husband signed it. And my daughter's dad signed it. So when they mailed me the paperwork, yes, I got the original mail papers at home, but I never read them. I never read them.
All right, so what's the problem? You have 3 policies. What's the problem?
So my father passed away in February this year, 2018.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So I got the death certificates, and I called Glenn. I said, Glenn, we need to file my claim. So like a month later, he called me like, let's not do a claim. And
What?
I'm sitting there like, why not do a claim on my dad?
How were you
I need
paying
this
on
money.
How were you paying on these policies?
They were coming directly out of my bank account.
Monthly, right?
Monthly.
Okay,
How much
hold
was
on.
his?
How much was his death benefit?
So my dad's, oh Lord, I think his by itself was $78 a month.
No. How much is the death benefit?
Oh, $35,000.
All right, hold on. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Joseph A. Lazara is a criminal defense attorney, and I hope you never, ever need him. But Joe is there. And you know what Joe does? Flat rate pricing. So if you get a DUI, he gives you a price, depending on the circumstances. But you'll get the price up front. Joe Lazara will help you through a DUI, through a DWAI, whether it's smoking or a substance or, marijuana. Here's the deal. We're not encouraging this, okay? Let's just take that out of the equation. But you need representation. Whether guilty or innocent, you need representation. 303-429-6200. And that is flat rate pricing, prices up front. If you go to trial, you get reduced fees from him and a $500 discount for Martino listeners. 303-429-6200.
This report is brought to you by Farmers.
Eli Manning, yeah, I know, but I just don't think we know he had the talent at one point. Christ, he won a Super Bowl.
He got MVP, but he wasn't that good in the Super Bowl.
No, Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl, too. And he threw an interception to a 350-pound lineman.
I'm just saying, Eli has given up internally.
Well, looks like it.
But how many times do you get smacked around until you do?
And you have the money to get the fuck out.
So why doesn't he get out?
Why do half these guys even play with all the injuries and all the stuff they know?
Money.
Totally agree.
No, but how much do you need? You sign a contract.
Yeah, but most of them don't make. I mean, we're talking big money now. Most of them.
He's big money.
I know that. I know.
Well, why doesn't he just quit?
I'm saying your average lineman, he might be making what, $500,000 a year?
No, they're 3 to 4.
What's the league minimal now?
Well, I don't know, but if you're the rookie contracts are how they set the minimums, and they're, like you said, $1 million, maybe $800,000, $1 million a year. But I mean, I don't know.
Which is kind of unfair when you see a guy like Saquon Barkley. Of course, he could probably got a big sign.
I told you he plays basketball. Barkley.
No, he was limited too.
Right. But they don't think it's a signing bonus though.
It's all pretty well dictated. There's not much they can do with it. They can promise, wink, wink,
what you doing, girl?
To renegotiate his contract after a year or two, or something. But yeah, it's pretty well established.
How long do you think that'll take to put in if you have it, Nick?
What, the tail light?
Yeah.
Give me an hour.
Okay. I'm thinking we grab that other one and go return it while he's doing that.
That's fine. And I'm hangry. I'm not hungry, I'm hangry.
Yeah, I won't be.
Well, Mark doesn't eat, right?
Yes, he does. He just...
When do I eat?
4 o'clock.
Dan knows you better than I do.
He just teases Machowski.
I
tell you what, he's doing good about staying with it. At least I don't ever see him snacking on a pizza or, they have pizza in here.
I don't eat before 4. Now,
where's
if it's
Machowski?
3:45 and she's killing me, I might.
Like that.
Oh, I thought you were. He usually sits here.
Who's playing tonight?
Nobody.
What are you talking about?
Friday night.
Yeah, there's always 2, 3 college games.
Oh, college. How are you doing in that?
With his thing, I'm in second or third. I had a good week last week.
What do you got, a pool?
What? Yes, everybody put in $50.
Yeah.
Isn't Sunday the Rams against the
Broncos? Yeah.
That's going to be a slaughter.
I don't know. You got
Rams.
By the way, call Bob and tell him because I doubt that's true. I doubt.
The line on that game is actually going down.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why did you say Eli Manning doesn't care?
Oh, he's just so horrible.
He is horrible. But he's got a shitty line too.
Is it for a lack of trying?
No, it's just.
No, I think so. I don't think the passion perfect.
Those guys don't.
I think that's your brother.
Those guys.
But he got a crappy line. I mean, he's getting hit all the time.
They don't have quick.
Well, after enough years, they do. I mean, come on.
Not that family.
Well, then why why did he retire then? Why did Manning retire?
Because he retired.
He couldn't walk. He couldn't throw the ball.
He's old.
He's a quitter.
Broncos were gonna cut him.
They had to. It was amazing. He made it as long as he
right.
did.
Why was he?
His last year was not good.
Was it?
No, he's probably the smartest quarterback ever played.
No, he went out on. He pulled a Seinfeld.
Yep.
But he didn't have a good year. His last year was not a good year. Even though he won a Super Bowl.
He was out for half.
That was his last year? He won.
But like I say, his stats were not.
I know, but he won the Super Bowl.
I know.
Yeah, I agree. Well, look at Elway. He quit after 2 Super Bowls.
But the defense won the Super Bowl. The defense
He went back-to-back Super Bowls and he retired.
So Broncos are
6.5, 7.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Century RV, it's car day. And Century RV has new and used RVs up north on I-25 and the 119 turnoff to Longmont. They have a service department up there. They also have a place climate controlled out in Lakewood, just west of the city, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims. CentryRV.com. The best prices in the country on some of these new Cougars. That's 303-453-1111. 303-453-1111. Century as in 100. CentryRV.com. Okay, so we got some stuff going on. Suzanne, you called that place to find out who their internet provider is. Did she tell you, Mark, at all on who it was?
I did not hear yet.
I called them. She was pretty sure. She said it goes through corporate, but she was pretty sure it was CenturyLink.
That's what I'm thinking. And CenturyLink, if they have phones, they have service.
She said something weird, though, like they're in a office building or something, and then there's a rental house behind them. They want to get it to the rental house. I'm not so sure anybody ran anything to that house.
Steve's got a comment. Go ahead, Steve.
I work for a Netio internet company here in Colorado. We're a wireless provider, and it first
Netio. It's called Netio.
Yeah, Neteo.
Okay, what about it?
So the deal here is that absolutely they could not have something run, or they could not have available ports in the building to add another connection from their DSLAM box.
Okay.
You could have phone, but no internet.
Okay.
However, if they do have internet at the building next door or nearby, even though Mark was correct, it could cost thousands to run a new line, you could still potentially pick up a service somewhere nearby where they have it, and then just do a wireless connection to your property, to the rental property.
Yeah, actually,
that's very cheap.
Yeah, he's exactly right. So that main building that she says in with internet, just set up a Wi-Fi router and send it over to them.
It had to be a pretty special router.
No, not at all. I mean, how far away are we talking? It can't be that far.
I guess that's cool.
I got Arlo cameras that'll go 100 yards.
That's pretty cool. Now, Tanya, this thing's got me curious. You say 3 life insurance policies. You were paying monthly.
Yes.
You got them in May 2017. Your father passed away in February of 2018.
Yes.
And what's the problem?
Still, Glenn has stopped answering my phone calls. Glenn told me back in March that we should not file a claim.
Why? If your father died and he had life insurance, why did he say you shouldn't file a claim? I mean, why?
That's when I started doing research, because I wanted to find out why he's telling me not to get all this money.
And what did you find out?
So I called Illinois.
And what did you find out?
That my dad that Glenn put my dad under a group policy.
What does that mean?
And
I've never heard of a group life insurance policy.
Group policy means he works at a certain company, and they have to verify he still worked there when he died for me to get paid.
And he didn't?
He didn't work at all. He hasn't worked in years.
Did he work when he sold it to you? Did he work there?
My dad hasn't, like, 10 years.
No. So
the guy screwed you.
So Glenn,
he screwed me.
You're saying that Glenn wrote up a fictitious policy. Do you have a copy of it?
I have all that, yes.
I wonder if he's got error and omission. Something's really bad here.
He said he's done this several different times. My dad just died too early.
But what? What does that mean?
He said if my dad would have lived for the 2 years,
it's called the contestability.
Exactly. Then I would have got my money.
Right. He's kind of right.
Because my dad died early, they have to verify that he...
Yes, but if he never worked there when they sold it to him, I mean, that's the issue within itself.
But why did he do that and say that he worked somewhere? Was it in order to get a lower price?
Glenn didn't even tell me that he did that.
No, I understand.
No knowledge.
Are you also on a group policy?
The other two people that I set up, he did it the same exact way.
Is he going to change it and fix it?
Oh, he doesn't answer my phone calls anymore.
Right. His name, hold on. His name is Glenn what?
Connor.
And what company does he represent? Is he an agent?
He's an agent for Illinois Mutual.
Illinois Mutual. Are you sure that's all he sells?
This guy could lose his license.
Yep.
Oh, I want him to.
Hold
He's
on.
done this for more than one...
Hold on. Mark this as a follow-up for us, Suzanne. Illinois Mutual, Glenn Connor, and what's his phone number?
Hold on, let me get it out.
This would be great for Clint.
Yeah. This would be good for anyone. This guy sounds like a scumbag. I mean, if he was hoping that they lived past the contestability period.
Unless, if he explained all this to them, but even so, he shouldn't be selling that policy.
No, it sounds fraudulent to me.
Sounds very fraudulent.
The company that he supposedly worked for, is it someone that Glenn has policies for? I'll bet you they're going to want to know that Glenn is putting people on their policy.
Did he ever work for that company?
No.
Never.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Tanya?
Yeah, I'm looking for his number.
Okay, hold on, though. I need to ask a very serious question. What is Glenn's connection, Glenn Connor's connection, with this?
No,
not with you. No. What is his connection with the company that he signed your dad up under, that he said your dad worked there?
No, my dad, I don't know. I have no idea.
You don't know why. You don't know why Glenn Connor picked that company and put your father on.
I don't know at all.
Did your dad sign like an affidavit or anything saying that I work for this company?
No, we just signed papers to be on.
All right, hold on, and I'll come back to you when you get Glenn Connor's number. I want to mark this down. This is a good one. We need to fix this one, or try to get it fixed. Brian, go ahead, Brian. What's happening with you, Brian?
Yes, I was calling give you some feedback on Plumline Services.
What's going on with Plumline?
Well, you were they were offering that $29 service on the furnace.
That was I remember that he was in. I think he was here at the time or something. But it was an extraordinary deal at the time.
About a month ago.
Yeah, because their normal price is higher than that, and then even that normal price is a good deal. And they were going to come and check the furnace and all that. And what happened?
Well, I called and I, said that, I heard about that, and they said fine, and they said, well, we'll call you back, and I said okay, and they said, well, our schedulers will call you back in 60 to 90 minutes, which I thought was kind of strange,
By the way, they heating and plumbing companies and all of them, they get slammed, then they get drought, then they get slammed.
I know where this is going.
Anyway, so go ahead. By the way, that was for a limited number of callers at the time, but it doesn't matter. What happened? I want to hear feedback.
Well, anyway, so it was 60, 90 minutes. Well, okay. I waited actually about 2.5 hours.
Did you ever get called? You called back, and what did they say?
I called them back after 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
After 2.5 hours, they said, okay, well, we'll get you scheduled. And I said, okay. I said, well, I just wondered why I never got a call back. And they said, well, we had 40 other callers that we had to make calls.
I'm sure.
Which is, I understand their business.
So then what happened?
But then they said, oh, when can you get it scheduled? They said January 3rd.
Hold on. So you wanted to get that special. By the way,
just in time for the weather.
That special was only for that day, so I don't even understand why they're even doing it. I mean, it really was. I remember when he made that special. It was only for that day for a certain number of callers. But, no, it wasn't for a certain number of callers, but it was only for that day. But here's what I want to ask. You did schedule, but you went through, and they said January. That I find hard to believe. However, and I'm going to talk to them right now, but here's the thing. No matter what, that is not what I consider unethical. I'll just let you know. Just if people are busy. It does sound very strange to me that it would take that long, and it almost sounds impossible that it would take that long. So hold on a sec. Let me talk to Bob. But I want to make this clear. If people have a special and they can't get to you and they schedule it out, it does seem problematic if it's 3 or 4 months out. Okay? I mean, I could see saying we're out of those specials. I can hear saying, look, that no longer applies because it was a limited offer. What I don't understand, is scheduling it 30 days or 60 or 90 days out. I don't understand it. So hold on. Okay. What were you going to say? One last, Brian. Just what were you going to say? Because Bob Logan,
I would have been fine. All they would have had to say is, that special, it doesn't apply.
Right.
And,
Okay, Bob, Brian, I agree with you. Let's get an explanation for you. Okay? This is Bob Logan, General Manager at Plumline Services. Hey, Bob, you heard that, right?
I did, Tom. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, first of all, Brian, I want to apologize for the delay in getting back to you. My dispatch department is extremely busy, but that's not an excuse. If we told you 60 to 90 minutes, we should have gotten back to you within that time frame, so I apologize for that. With regards to the special, Tom, yeah, that is a preseason special.
By the way, we just happened to see it, Bob, before you go further. When we did it, it was a special, I thought, just for a few people, or for a limited time. But is that on Plumline Services right now? You guys ought to know this if it is. Is it on their website right this minute?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Just so you know, Bob, you may not know this, but it's on your website right now.
Okay. So it does need to come down.
Right.
It's a preseason special that we did, and as you and I talk about, it's the seasonality of our business. As soon as that first cold comes or snow comes, our phones just blow up. So on a typical day, we might take 300 calls.
Yes.
And over the last several days, it's been between 500 and 600. So because we have only so many technicians to run these calls, the challenge is always how many do you book, how many can you satisfy, because there's variables with each call, and so either you're canceling people.
No, I understand. Listen, Bob, I don't think. Look,
and I think repairs and heat out should be a priority over a tune-up.
I'm not saying, but listen, Bob, I'm not saying that you guys did anything intentionally or low, but here's what I'm saying. Brian has a point. He should have been told, hey, that no longer applies, or in other words, to tell them, okay, we'll be out there in January is kind of weird to me.
Well, because we did have that offer out there, I don't want to be that company that says, oh, you called too late, we're not going to do this for you. If he wants us to do the tune-up, we'll be happy to do it in January. And there's, if he can find somebody sooner, that's fine. But a lot of people do not do it proactively, and so if he gets it done in January, at least we can check the system out, make sure it's operating safely and efficiently. So I don't want to turn anybody down, but I don't want to set them up with a false expectation that we can get out there sooner than that. So I did instruct my dispatch team, be smart about this. I only want 24 of these ran every single day. Because we do need to leave some room open for people who have no heat.
Could you do me a favor, though, Deputy Dan? So Bob can look at this. Where is it on their website? Because I can't find it. And you say it's on there. Where is it? Just tell me. On the air. Just tell me where it is. It's under plumbing or heating?
It would be
under heating, then tune-up.
Where? Where is it? I don't. Oh, under tune-up. Okay. Heating, tune-up. Here it is. And it doesn't say anything about 29. Oh, there it is. Special price. Yeah, it is. It's under, if you go to plumlineservices.com/heating/tune-up with the hyphen, and you can navigate to it, Bob, on your heating menu. But in any case, Bob, thanks. I appreciate it. But it is on your website right now. So because it's on your website right now, is there a way you can get out to Brian's?
I will get with their dispatch team. I'll make it a priority so we can get out there.
You know, Brian, I think because it is a current special, even though Bob didn't know it, and you're not even calling on the fact it was on the website, maybe we can get them to come out there. So we'll see what we can arrange.
It's my #1 complaint this time of year, and it's not just with Plumline.
No, it's with everyone.
With every HVAC.
That's the problem with these companies, that it's either feast or famine. We got more coming right up.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station with Russ Kaminsky.
You got 50 trucks sitting there waiting for nothing going on.
So you do whatever you can to keep them moving.
And then the clock changes, move.
It's the 3 I get them from every year, every time.
Why is it
Applewood Plumline fix
Why is
every year?
Why is stock? Stocks? Why are they so bad right now?
It's just crazy.
Interest rates moving, so they panic, and
that's exactly right.
Everybody takes their profit, and
then they jump back in. The banks are doing good though.
How much did they say it was down today?
VAC does a shitload of credit card business, so I'm really hoping consumers are out there overspending.
Kevin,
buy new TVs now. Put them on your Visa.
Quality engine.
You don't pay. Bank of America only.
Just
pay the minimum.
Yeah, howdy, Volkswagen.
But Beamers are not bad.
So. Oh, they're so expensive to repair. The worst is it true the most costly is G-Wagon?
Don't buy German.
I only buy Korean. You want to hear my Korean accent?
Oh, it's just like it.
Want to hear my Chinese accent? Hyundai.
How about your German accent?
Hyundai. Hyundai on the Bobby. That's my Australian one. God, it looks nice out today. This week was brutal fucking cold, wasn't it? What a cold snap all week long.
This weekend is going to be cold though.
I forgot how much I love 68 degrees. During the winter, houses at 68. During the summer, 76 when the AC's on. So I'm either at 68 or 76 inside. And I love 68. I just refuse to pay that for air conditioning. I love it though.
Get a whole house fan, you won't need it.
I love it too.
It's the only reason we don't do that is allergies for Suzanne.
Oh, I agree.
68 is perfect. Covers at night, but you don't during the day. It's perfect.
Oh, I turn down 60 at night.
60?
Oh, yeah.
You're fucking crazy. I'd be lynched.
Don't call me crazy.
My kids and wife would. Oh, he's a bachelor.
No.
Probably sleeps in a sleeping bag. You whack.
No, you sleep better when it's cool. And you have heavy blankets on it. You don't.
No, it is nicer, cooler, but 60 might be a little too much.
60's insane.
It's not insane.
Wacko. What are you, an Eskimo? 60. Suzanne would fucking cut my nuts off in the middle of the night.
Are you anti-Eskimo?
God. I don't see coldness.
I don't see coldness.
No, it's crazy.
At night, yeah.
You're nuts.
I go to bed.
You're nuts.
I sleep much better. In fact, in summer, I would turn the whole house fan on, trying to get it down that cold.
Oh, if Suzanne didn't have allergies, I could easily. In Franktown, we're 10 degrees less than Castle Rock.
That's a big deal. Allergies with a whole house fan, big deal. I agree.
You would think you could, in this day and age, you would think you could buy a filtration for a house that would get rid of any allergens. You really would.
I thought you can with those HEPAs. I heard they're pretty good.
But it's harder to push them through though too.
Well, I know that. You got to change filters constantly. My new furnace, I got to change my filter every 60, 70 days.
I do it every month.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Every month, I don't know. Man, I hope not.
Denver's Talk Station, 630 K.
Don't you think sleeping at 60 is good at night?
Yeah.
60?
Kevin?
50, liar, liar.
Hi, Tom Martino here.
You're tough.
Approval reverse.
.com. That is a mortgage company that does reverse mortgages. What I love about them is that they will never lie to you. Reverse mortgages are lump sums of money or monthly payments to you or a line of credit on your equity that you never pay back until the house is sold and you go somewhere, or you go in a nursing home and it's sold, or you are deceased and the estate takes it. And your estate or your heirs or yourself will never be responsible for more than the house. Meaning, if you borrowed a bunch of money and it accrued a lot of interest over the years and you never made a payment, you'll never owe more than the house. The house is the only thing you'll owe. And if the house goes up in value, you'll get whatever difference there is. Now, I'm not telling you this is for everyone. It is absolutely not for everyone. Maybe for 2% of the population. Maybe 4%. This is what I love about Joan and her team, Joan Sullivan and her team. They'll tell you the truth. 303-771-3528. Okay, let's go to the phones. That's approvalreverse.com. So, Francis, tell us about the post office. Are you there, Francis? Okay, I'm going to put Francis on hold to see what's wrong there. 303-713-TALK is our number. It's Brian's turn. Brian, what's happening?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, what's going on?
Okay, I took my 2016 Subaru Crosstrek XV Prezev, whatever you call those.
Yeah.
It had check engine light. It was not flashing with steady light, but it had the cruise control flashing. We took it in. They diagnosed it as a tumble valve or a tumbler valve, not blending correctly. They quoted, I think, anywhere from, I think it was $1,100 or $1,400. Which apparently is not.
Wow.
Covered. I know.
Wow. Jeez.
Recently, I had my catalytic converter system replaced, no charge, but they say this particular piece is not. Curious is how involved is it? If you even know what it is.
I don't. Kevin, what do you know what they are?
Yeah, it's mounted to the intake. It's got to do with emissions and air circulation and so forth. You could Google it. There's all kinds of articles showing you how to replace them, and it is actually called a tumbler valve.
That is a nice-looking car.
Yeah.
It is.
It's really nice. And you have a 2016. No, what color is yours?
Mine's, they call it I think it's a something blue, like Aztec blue.
Does it have good power?
It does. It does. Although with this thing going on, it doesn't have as much pickup as it should, but it's not as strong as, say, a 350 or something. But it does well for my wife. She loves it because it's, of course, saving gas. We get about 36 to 38 miles per gallon.
Wow. And it looks pretty roomy.
It is. Oh, we've taken it everywhere. We've taken it all over the state. I've gone to Iowa and back a few times, and it's been no problem.
So what do you recommend, Kevin, basically? What do you recommend?
Well, if he's handy, it's not a very complicated repair.
It's a valve replacement?
It's a component, basically.
Does it screw in?
No, it actually has two butterflies. So there's two sets. There's a set of two.
Okay.
So there's one on each head, and it's not complicated.
All right, let's see if Francis is back now. Francis? Okay, I'm going to discontinue that call and go to Brian again now on... Oh, I'm sorry, we just took Brian. Okay, 303-713-8255. Kids, you can get right through if you want right now. Right now, if you call 303-713-TALK, or we can talk. We were talking about heat and air and, you know, how busy everyone is and all of that. You know, people, they feel that first cold and they, oh, my God, I should have had my furnace checked out. Then we got to talking about... sleep temperatures.
Yeah.
I think 68 is a great all-around temperature.
It's the best.
Winter and summer.
Nutcase next to me says 60, and that I almost dropped down. Then this whack job over here says 50.
If I put my thermostat at 60, I would be sleeping alone.
I would too.
All the time. But Kevin,
That's what blankets are for.
Kevin, you don't put your thermostat.
I opened a window.
But you don't put it at 50 in the winter. In the winter, Kevin.
No, it is down at 55, and I actually cracked the window open a little bit.
Oh my God.
That's
okay,
insane.
let's talk to Dean.
Well, I close it better.
Dean.
I don't do the whole house.
Welcome. What's going on, Dean?
Tom, I sent you some information on something we're going through right now with some property we inherited. And,
how much property, sir?
It's a property we inherited in North Denver.
How much?
Over in the Berkeley area.
How much property?
There's 3 parcels to the property. Each parcel is 80 square feet.
Oh, 5,080. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your question, sir?
Well, we're trying to get an answer through the planning department at Denver on whether or not we could build a house on each one of those parcels based on.
Is it in a subdivision?
It's not. It's in North Denver.
So it's just a neighborhood.
Yeah, it's just an old neighborhood. Mom bought the house in about 40s, and then they built on it. And over the next few years, they bought a lot to the one side.
So what are the neighbor? A lot has to do in neighborhoods and zoning and planning. If they don't have an exact plan, it's all about what they call adjacency. See, adjacency means what's on the left, what's on the right, what's behind, what's in front. And
Right.
adjacency seems to take care of itself, because if commercial is on one side, residential on the other, you can go commercial that way, or you can go residential, and you're the demarcation. So it serves neighborhoods well, but you should be able to get a very simple answer. If you go and see the master plan, and it'll say what it is: R3, R2, commercial. I mean, what exactly is it zoned right now? Everything has a zoning designation. And you can get what's called a special use, or you can get, you can change zoning. So what is it zoned right now?
Well, right now the zoning shows a USUC.
USUC. Okay. Did you look it up? USUC zoning?
Yeah. Basically, what we've looked into it, Tom, is it basically says that it's residential only. You can't do commercial.
Okay. So what exactly are you asking then? Because if they are individual lots, I think you can almost assume that you can build on it. I mean, but I wouldn't, but you probably can. Did you ask or did you read in the zoning? Like I'm bringing it up right now in that neighborhood, and it does tell you.
Right.
In fact, it goes right down to the streets. So it'll tell you the divisions, the sections, and what you can build on. Have you checked the zoning?
What I've looked into, Tom, is it shows that I'm about 420 square feet short on each one of the lots.
But how did that happen, though? That's odd to me.
Well, if you overlook that whole street, there's a house to the east of our property that's 4750.
Yeah. By the way, grandfathering works, but my neighbor got away with it doesn't. That's either they were grandfathered or not. But if your neighbor got away with it, people think it's something that gets them, and it doesn't. So my neighbor got away with it is not ever going to hold up in court or in zoning.
If you look at the adjacent properties on the other side, on the 46th Avenue side, there's 10 properties that are the same size, the 50/80 for each lot.
Good. Then you should be able to pull building permits.
But the zoning code says it's got to be a minimum of 5,500.
No, you said
feet.
that. So here's what I mean. Those ones with 50/80 that already got them, and you're adjacent to them, must have gotten permission to do that. I mean, these zoning laws, you can get it wouldn't be a special use. A special use is reviewed.
Be a variance.
Exactly. A variance is permanent. A special use is, hey, I'm using it for this, and if you find it's a pain in the ass, you can revoke that. But it would be a variance. And I'm almost sure that if what you're telling me is true with the lot sizes and the people already building, that they simply got variances. So I would go and ask one of them if it was difficult, and then I would simply apply for a lot variance or combine the lots or do something like that. Hold on one second. We'll discuss this if you have a specific question. And then Hugh wants to talk about the Icon LASIK as well, and we have a Cadillac question. I'm going to try to get them all in.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
I'm not going to go over with this guy the zoning laws. I mean, they're there, so he needs to get a variance. And really, there's no, honest to God, no specific discussion, unless he has a very specific question he can ask me right now. Otherwise, I don't want to just discuss it. I mean, that kind of a discussion is dead. It's just like, that's what it is. Deal with it.
So he's been dealing with the Denver thing, and they basically said if he sells all the property, they can only build one house on all 3 properties.
Well, because they got to get a variance.
Right, see, he's got 3 lots.
He should go get variances now.
Before he sells them.
Right. No, I understand, but he said with the way they're talking right now, so you're saying just go get the variance
Well,
right now.
of course, the way they're talking right now.
But
But here's the deal. Many times, you can't just get a general variance. They want to know what you're going to build.
That's true.
I mean,
would Frank Duran help him out this year?
No, he knows nothing about it.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, that is a whole specialized thing.
Because he wants to sell these.
Well, he can sell them, but Frank, okay, if he just sells them, he's going to have to say, you can't build a house. So buy all 3 of them. Actually, they only have to buy 2, then the third one is useless.
Or they combined 3 of them into 2.
The building, the way they build it, he's going through with the building. I said.
But in order to do that, he has to literally do a subdivision. He has to, no matter what.
He's subdividing.
No matter what.
And he's dealing with Denver there, but they're not very clear on.
No, he's not doing anything. I guarantee you he's not fucking doing anything. If you go in and said, I want an application for a variance, okay, these people that say they're not dealing with me, they're saying, why can't I build a house my neighbor did? They're not fucking dealing with me. They're not. They're, you know, they say they are.
And most of them keep their damn temperature at 60 in their house.
And those are assholes.
Okay, he can't get any clearance or something.
Like fraternity house
The
in
planning
college.
department says
There's
it's
basically
lumping them all into
2
one
bunk
lot.
beds, so 4 guys
But he
in one room
gets
for
3 property
sleeping,
tax
and then,
bills
you know,
for 3 different lots.
So
That's right. That's exactly
I
right.
took the
Lots
window
have nothing to do with building.
because I got so
Nothing.
tired of these guys closing the window.
Because at one time they were separate lots.
Do you want me to tell him that off there?
At one time they were 3 separate lots. He literally has to apply. He can't just fucking talk to them. He has to come up with a plan to either combine them and divide them into 2, or get a variance on each one.
Oh, I agree.
But he has to apply. You
You're right.
can't just
That's what
call.
blankets are for.
Yes.
For a limited time.
We just grew up in an older house in New York too. We didn't have too much heat at the top.
Oh man, look at this.
So I teach. That's what I teach my dad.
What is it?
You're such a tightwad.
Is it one of those drones again?
No, no. You know, we all grew up just, you know.
Oh, what is? Oh, the plant.
You know what was really
It's a major deal, Mark.
But people
I'm just
talk about
hoping you
mice.
don't
I remember
overbuild.
hearing mice go across the sea.
Well, it's got to fit what the hell I'm putting in it.
And
You know what
sometimes they
I'm
have crickets.
saying? Oh, you mean over construct?
Well, the area, yeah.
No, I'm not worried about that. Not at all.
My hair looks the best it's looked in 15 years, and that's not just my
Because
opinion.
I don't even own a coat.
With the
A
minimally
winter coat.
invasive Neograft, your hair looks
Really?
completely natural because it's your hair.
I don't like.
Will you guys be empty nesters in the next 5 years? Or you consider that too? You are going to be, right?
Yeah, but we really like it out there.
Oh, good. Good.
And
Because
I try not
it's
to
certainly a
because
nice
I
place to
hate
retire,
going in the
even
car
if it's too, if it's
When I
giant.
come here, you just gotta walk the other way.
Yeah.
But
I had the window.
I
open this
wouldn't
morning,
stay
though.
there in my elder age.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
But
I like the
you should
cold.
be able to package that
See, for me, it's a whole lot easier to warm up a little bit than cool down.
You're not getting, now you don't need any variance or anything, right?
I just remember on the farm.
So your
Going
neighbors
out
can't
in the
protest.
wintertime,
No.
it was so cold.
They wouldn't care anything. But no, there's nothing
Every
they
step
can
you
do.
did hurt your feet.
I was gonna,
Dad, let us go in.
one point I would like to get a variance. They
This is
said
farm I
it's
worked
next to
on when I was in
impossible,
high
so I
school.
just said,
And one of the crops that came away was
50 foot from the county property.
Plow it.
And I didn't think I'd ever get it. They said,
in the field.
if
The crates came
from
in.
the county,
And we're warming
getting
our
it from a
hands
neighbor would be hard enough.
I'll bet
That
you
is
were.
hard.
Yes, because
Even though the neighbor's good with it, they still gotta be good with it, I
And
know.
they're soaked through.
The county says, well, what happens in the future? I say, well, it's there. I mean,
That's like
people
a
either
potato
buy it or
on
they
the
don't.
side.
Yeah, right.
What's weird, you get out
I don't
and
know why they care.
you get out and Frank out it. If you really look at fence lines and everything, nothing is, everything's just straight. There is no, real property line.
Hi, Tom Martino. Just to clarify on that previous guy, he's upset because he got 3 tax bills for 3 different lots, yet building and zoning is saying you can only build one house on all 3 of them. Okay? Well, that's just the way it is. Lots and building have nothing to do with each other. You can have 3 lots and only be able to build on all 3 together. Okay? You ever hear people say they have a double lot? Well, they don't have a double lot. They have a lot that they can build on, and it seems like it's double, yes.
So, Tom, he's still on the line, but what he was telling me is he really wasn't planning to do it. He wants to sell to a developer and wants to get the most out of it.
Then he sells to a developer, but here's the problem, okay? If you, and Dan, I just don't want to take up the rest of the show because I got somebody else on. But Dan, basically this, if you can't necessarily go in there with a variance because they want to know what you're going to build. So you really can't do that right now if you wanted to get a variance on lot 1, 2, and 3, unless you proposed houses, and then that limits what a developer might do. Here's what I suggest. If you truly want to sell to a developer, then sell to a developer who can see the value. And somebody who's not going to try to BS you and say, well, you can only build one house. Here's what I would do if I owned it. I would take all 3 lots and subdivide them into 2 lots. That's what I would do. And then you'd be able to get 2 building lots of a really nice size. That's what I would do. But you can't talk to them about it. See, you're saying they're not doing this, they're not doing it. You must go through the process. You take 3 lots, you combine them into 2 lots, and voila, it will take a variance. Carmela, what's going on? Carmela, I'm sorry. What's going on, Carmela?
Yes. Good afternoon. I have a 2005 Cadillac DeVille with the V8 Nordstrom engine.
Ooh, that's a nice engine.
Oh, it's a great engine.
Yeah.
Great performance engine. But I have the infamous 100,000 mile leak, oil leak from the engine, from the gaskets.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what my alternatives are for repair.
What do you mean by alternatives?
Gaskets?
Oh, can you reseal them like with sealants?
Yes.
They never really work, do they, Kevin?
No, on that one you either live with the leaks or you pull the motor out and reseal it.
How bad is it?
It can be pretty bad.
Carmela, how bad
Isn't it like 12 hours?
It's 12 to 15 hours for the roommate and the oil pan, yeah.
How much does it cost?
The leaks are getting a little bit more frequent.
How much?
You're probably about $2,500 to reseal it.
Okay, how many miles on this, Carmela?
154,000.
And it's going to go forever?
I hope so. The engine's in great condition. I take care of it.
Okay. Well,
I used to put floor dry in the garage under mine because I didn't want to fix it.
Yeah, floor dry work.
And he does it for a living.
You'll see on the internet a lot of additives that will slow down leaks, and they work, but you got to keep using them, and they're not permanent.
How about a thicker oil? No.
No, not on that. It's going to leak or you fix it. There's no in between.
Joey is calling. I can't get to him. A landlord not fixing mold. First, Joey, you got to prove it's a danger. You got to prove that it will threaten habitability, and then you use constructive eviction or something like that. We can check with our attorneys if you want to come back on Monday. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. Don't forget Sheridan Auto Tech, and of course, FlexidentofColorado.com. Save all your problems for me.
Belco is offering 2.5% APY on a 13-month...
STP doesn't work.
Who does that?
STP doesn't work.
Mechanics that wears cars on the road.
There's a Cadillac out there, even the oil pan, you got to pull the motor and the tranny. Is that the one?
Yeah, the way the exhaust wraps around the oil pan, you can't get it out.
It's crazy.
Unless
The what?
The exhaust pipe wraps underneath the oil pan.
You got to take that off too.
You can't get that off with the engine and the stuff in there.
It's crazy.
You got to pull it out.
That is fucking insane.
Yeah, unless you're a really, really good welder, you can cut the pipe and get up in there and weld it back. Yeah, it's just